Hello. How goes? Today's an Empire Day. Not campaign, but instead, yet another tournament. This time, though, we're trying out some main tide strats. CA just dropped some patch news too, which is very exciting. Tomorrow, I believe, which should actually make Empire quite a bit better. Because they did mention, at least, they did mention. Yeah, patch 7.1. Let me see. Control F ranged. Yeah. Let me open this up for you guys real quick. They mentioned some big news. Fix an issue with range units rotating while firing. I would very much like to see where that goes. For now, though, we have a tournament. Starting it. There we go. And Goblins tourney has begun. Exclamation mark. And we're up against Maximillionaire. Oh boy. Alright, I typed Maximillionaire here. What am I doing? Maximillionaire. Yo. Let's get him this. I'm playing Empire and Maxi today. Playing nothing. So they get to counterpick me with 3. On Road to Talapime. I don't know if he'll want to play Vampire accounts into my Empire, but we'll see. Been a while since we faced them. But maybe they found a bit of free time. Maybe they're coming back into the scene. We'll see. Today's a great sword day, though. But yeah, patch notes. Patch notes. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can bring it up. So I need to add one of these. Oh, I gotta add. Oh, no. How do I? There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Gotta add a browser source. Yeah, there we go. Don't mind that. Alright, so we'll just copy this, put it in. And I should, yeah. There we go. There it is. Patch notes. Yo, it's so exciting. Apparently, CA said that they'd be fixing bugs. They still haven't, apparently in the patch notes, they're not fixing the spectator view, though. So that's unfortunate. But they are doing something with range units. Hopefully, it's not like that one time when they made them shoot through each other and it was busted. Hopefully not that. But I welcome range unit Fixerino. I think that's very exciting. Okay, so if I interact with this, yeah, we can scroll. Let's see here. Added various missing translations. All right, that's not exciting. Yeah, let's look at the actual balance changes though. Chimeras, -5 leadership. Slongors, pretty decent nerf to their charge bonus. Vampire counts, Wood Elves, or Dark Elves. I'll play versus Vampire counts. Let's see if we can beat Maximillionaire's main with a thing. But yeah, Decall is 200 gold cheaper. That's a lot. That's almost a Demon Prince level of cost reduction. She was mighty expensive before though, but she does have a pretty cool whirlwind. Some people have been playing with her too. So she'll definitely see a lot more play. Dreadmaw got a price increase. I think absolutely warranted. Max 1 Dreadmaw. I think that's fine. I think it is quite a hard unit to deal with. So going super skew into double Dreadmaw can be super hard for some factions. It's not like they've been designed to be able to beat a burrowing unit. Barrowmen are out of the Chaos roster too. Riders of the Mighty Serpent got a minor nerf. Acelin, 2 uses of Master of the Mists. Insane. Actually insane. I think that one's probably the biggest one. Everything else is like, you know, just some slight rebalancing. And the Beastmen, the cost on the Cockatrice is fixed. That might have been because of me. I reported that. I don't know if anyone else reported that. But if that was because of me, huzzah. saw you during Vampire Coast launch tournament. You played a lot of Lizardmen back in those days. Really? Was I playing just Chameleon Skink Kite 24/7? Man. Back before Vampire Coast? Jeez. What's your opinion on lizards now? Lizards now are a little bit more lackluster, yeah. Not nearly as exciting, sadly. Not nearly as exciting. But alright, vampire counts. The menace. How does one defeat them? Well, usually it's a DPS race. They're just trying to essentially just stall you forever. And then you can never capture the points. So having enough killing power is very important. Let's see here. Okay. I'm just gonna have to do this real quick. I'll have to join Turin's Discord. Alright, anyways. But yeah. Lizardmen nowadays, I'm not a huge fan of them. I feel like they kinda fell off. Unfortunately. Not really getting a lot of buffs and staying at about the same power level. They're not bad though. Like, people definitely play them. Okay. Just helping with adminning. What do I want here? Okay, so this is good. Maximilian, last time I played him, I used war wagons very effectively against him. And that was quite a painful experience. I would imagine they tried to adapt to that this time around. Gotta be a little careful. Obviously, we want just a stupendous amount of capture weight. Cheap capture weight because White King's got that Scab Scrath power. Good old Scab Scrath, very painful. Yeah, but this seems like it's pretty good. Do I have enough to kill Blood Knights though? That's always a big question. Blood Knights, super duper annoying. Gotta make sure they don't just annihilate you. Although honestly, if he goes Blood Knights, he might have a hard time capturing my points. I don't know. Empire Spirit Tide can be quite mighty at times. Just in case, though, let's just have like one Altdorf Griffite, and then I think we're good. We'll see how this goes. It's been a while since I played this matchup. Maximilian might have more experience than me here, and he might just wreck Arena my face, but we'll see. Was there a buff to Great Swords? No, that's why it's really, well, technically a while ago. But they've just been slowly getting more and more popular as time has gone on, despite getting relatively few buffs. Like, I think they just got a price reduction and like maybe a very small stat boost. But overall, they're really they're really just the same unit. It's just an anti-infantry unit for Empire. But it turns out having a front line that can actually face the forces of, you know, Forsaken, all the random mid-tier units, and win, that's good enough. Double engineer on horse. It's fun, but I don't know if I can fit him in. This is very much so a hard man tide. I somehow have more units than the vampire counts themselves. How crazy. We got the Gelts. We got the Tide of Man. Steel. Faith. And archers. Archers are super good versus vampire counts because they basically have to kill these guys to win. But when you have this many dudes, you can't really do it. So crypt horrors kind of just suck. And if it goes Graveguard, I got great swords. Ready. Good luck, have fun. So that should be fine. I didn't bring any grenade launchers though. Already regretting the build. But I have a ton of dudes. I have a ton of capture weight. And as long as I can steal these points nice and early, I think we're good. Why not Huntsman? Huntsman, they don't They don't do double the damage of archers, but archers are half the cost. So in a world where I just want the maximum damage possible, because we're just going to assume these guys are going to live, I prefer archers. Price reductions go hard. Minus 100 was pretty chunky. It's true. So we're going to see a Manfred. He has Winds of Death, so we're going to have to dodge that. And he has a bunch of Karen rates. Wow, okay. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. They're actually quite possibly very good versus my poor great swords over here. Gonna go for more Karen rates. Okay. Alright. I dig it. Sure. Well, let's see if we can kill this thing first. If we're facing Karen rates, I guess Free Company are the way to go. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit deep sin. Fine by me. Turn on Fire at Will on these Pistoliers so they may skirmish. We're just gonna scoot ourselves up just slightly, but I don't want to take a bad fight. He obviously has a build that's gonna try and rush me down, beat me up. Don't want to lose to that. Manfreds are coming. Interesting. Okay, so we got some Crypt Ghouls over here. He dodged my initial group of dudes. But now what are you gonna do? Gonna chuck out a Blind Winds of Death somewhere? Maybe a Scab Scrap? If I keep moving, it's probably gonna miss, right? Let's keep doing this. Gonna get, hopefully, what is a free unit of Crypt Ghouls. Chucks out the Scab Scrap. You can see it's not really that worth, though, right? That's the great part about this. And it's on cooldown now. So, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna ignore those fools. I'm gonna push in over here. Crypt Ghouls shall die. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some cavalry. Just a little bit. Just a wee bit. In the meantime, archers can bully that. Corpse carts. Great swords are getting on in there. We'll see what we can do to good old Manfred. If he dies, I think it's pretty over for my opponent. Yeah, this is zombie summon though. This is gonna be painful though. I think that will be very painful. There's the Winds of Death. Saw it coming miles away. Gonna delete his own Karen rates. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Gelt does not joke around with that. With the massive hit to his face. Now we're gonna see more cavalry though. Gonna see some hex rates coming on in. So they're kind of the next order of operation that I gotta deal with. Ticket-wise, we're doing fine. Trading-wise, we are ahead, technically. But it is not a decisive lead, right? Karen rates are actually doing quite well. Missing the fact that I don't have Flaming Sword here. He's actually just, he's just maxing out on these guys. On ethereals. Pretty impressive in today's day and age, but I guess we've gone a little too comfortable not having counters there. So we'll see if ethereals are just weak enough for me to win this regardless, or if this little risky strategy ends up paying off, because it might. Though these guys are quite expensive, you don't really want to lose them here. See my Empire Knights kind of crushing it. Gelt's gonna have to run though. Run for your life, Gelt. Damage is okay. Not in that way. Don't terror out Gelt. That's not what I want to see. Well, will he full shatter? No, I think he'll be okay. And then if I bring in my spears to save his butt, I think we'll be alright. Flagellants will be much better in this situation. And Gelt just needs to be hard to kill. Hard and annoying to kill. As long as I value trade, I think we're good. I do certainly have a lot of dudes over here. I have a lot of my range still alive. So I think we'll be okay. Especially if I can kill off these Karen rates. I think it's just making sure that these here flyers don't give me too much trouble. Thank goodness we managed to hold on to that point on the far side. And while his units crumble, my guys rally. That is a small blessing that we have. Gelt's gonna have to book it though. Gelt does not like this fight. Alright, what are we gonna do here? Don't want him to chase off my cavalry. Hex rates, man. Hex rates. Being a pain. Double White King still alive, too. Gotta make sure we don't die to that. Thankfully, oh my goodness, we actually barely hold that point, though. Okay, that's not too bad. That ain't bad at all, actually. And we got our cavalry back, so he is going to lose his rather expensive unit there. And I think without, even without the damage, without magic attacks, we're still actually doing relatively okay. Gelt's gonna have to be resummoned, though. He's definitely gonna die from this. I don't see a world where he manages to survive. But value trading is actually going really well. I think if ethereals were good, he would have had me here. That's kind of the cruel fate that Maximilianaire is going to have to deal with here. But I genuinely think that if ethereals were useful, I would be so screwed. Because I didn't bring a single counter, right? Oh, okay, we got more ghouls here. I see. Alright, can he deal with the man-tide, though? I think if I keep spamming spears, it can get a lot of work done. Just want to make sure I don't overblob. You can see the guns, man. The Outriders, terrifying. They're just blasting them. Very nice. Flagellants versus Karen rates. You'll love to see that, that's for sure. And then, yeah, I think you start vampire counting the vampire counts. Just keep spamming these fools. And we'll be good. Just keep just endless waves of man. That is where the strategy gets its name from. He just used a Scab Scrath, so that's pretty good. He's gonna try and pull in the Vargeist, but Steel, Faith, and Gunpowder. Mostly Steel and Faith, though. Thank goodness I have that point. Jeez, if I didn't have that point, I think we would also be dead. Honestly, this one's a close one, too. Like, he's tussling very hard. But he's going to go for the Gelt Chase. I don't know if that'll pay off. Because now his big single entities are going to be busy for a while. We did barely manage to hold this point. Some strong capture point play for me. And, like, Gelt is like a 500 gold caster lord. No one really cares if he dies, because this is domination. So I'll just let him run. Like, look at the leadership of my guys, right? My guys are doing fine. Who cares about losing your lord? Look at him. He's so hard to hit anyways. He's just going to be a menace. Unfortunately, though, my archers are not able to get line of sight. That part's a little unfortunate. So I'm still going to have to secure these points, right? We're still going to have to make the big push. And then, of course, we're going to have to re-summon Gelt when he inevitably kicks the bucket. He does manage a temporary triple cap, too. And here comes the infinite waves of guys. So I'll say it's still a little close. Will he be able to save Manfred, though? If Manfred dies, that would be devastating. You don't want to lose Manfred for Gelt. There he goes, though. Alright. So that's going to help him out a good chunk. I will have a lot of dudes here, at least. Alright, let's get our zombie summon up. Outriders having a bit of a tough time, but I get one capture point. It looks like we're on track for the second one, too. So that's pretty decent. We'll have to start transitioning over there. Thankfully, I have some archers at my disposal. And Manfred, he will live. Okay. Gotta be careful. Maximilian is a very strong player. Technically, on the double cap, I win, though. So, I think what we do is we're obviously going to get Gelt back. We should be able to hold this point with the minimal number of units. He actually holds it, one mad lad. He holds the point. That's terrifying. Yeah, because he routed off a couple of my guys. Alright, there you go. Gelt's back, though. He's back in action. Leadership is fine. Men of the Empire hold. They're going to do their best. Should be able to shoot up the Karen Wraiths. I have lots of archers, but this is going to be a triple cap situation instead, which makes things a lot more difficult. Let's go over here. I should be able to get that point sometime soon, but not getting this one. That's going to be rough. That's going to be very rough. I'm going to opt for a value trading kind of game then. Yeah, we're going to opt for a value trading-esque game. where maybe if I can keep him on 1 point for a long time, we'll be good. You can see the Vargeists are kind of suffering. I'm going to get off this point. There's no real point staying on there anymore. And then instead, just bring a vast quantity of range units to clean him up. Because he doesn't have that much to really stop this from happening. You can see Karen rates really don't like being shot to death. Gonna get a big ol' spell on Manny. That's gonna be good. There you go. He's gonna get another zombie summon. Guy has a lot of magic. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. If I can get one big fat volley on his face, though, maybe he dies. Certainly gonna take a lot of damage. I gotta get that snipe, though, if I want to win this. Maximilianaire is tussling hard. Us too. He certainly timed the death of Gelt quite well, I will say. Man, he might live. He might live. Oh, it's close. Oh, look at the gunpowder. But the shots are missing. I'm going to charge him with the spears, and maybe that'll be enough. On a double cap, though, it's going to take him ages for this game to end, though. It's going to take ages, all right? So I'm going to use time to my advantage here. Gonna get more boys. Come on, kill him. You don't want to die, Manny. Come on. Peel away from him for line of sight. He gets shot. There's no dodging that. The inaccuracy is helping us out there. Okay, and then now he's gonna go for the middle point. He stabilizes, though. What a mad lad. The race of Manfred. Oh my gosh, look at him go. Now, I think if he wants to play risky, he'll keep him nearby. If he wants to, yeah, if he wants to potentially make a play with them, he'll keep him there. But, oh, look at that volley. Come on, you darn outriders. Fire. Oh, boy. I don't know if I'm killing him. I think he's barely going to make it out alive. Stacked Manfred actually hard carry. I'm going to need to get this middle point, too. Jeez, these outriders. Their accuracy's not cooking today. He still has 500 health, too. Manfred actually reasonably tanky. I'm going to need to split these guys over. Okay, we finally got him routing, though. He's crumbling. It's very unlikely that he comes back from that. Very unlikely. So now what we got to do is we got to get the points. Holy crap, what a Chad he rallies. What an absolute Chad. Oh my gosh, okay. Alright, my dude. Well, I'm going to have to commit even more than to actually catch him. Karen rates are going to slow my outriders. That makes it even worse. Alright, I have a second point though, and we have a few minutes of time. No final transmutation, no nothing. We're gonna run him down. Hopefully no summons peels for him, and hopefully he doesn't capture this point. Absolute tussle this one is. What one magic damage cavalry would have done here. I think he's gonna win it. Okay, there we go. Manfred's dead. Manfred's dead, but I think we still lose. I'm gonna try flooding the points though. We're gonna give up this one to secure this one. That way we're stuck only on a single capture situation. But yeah, Manfred. Dang, with the survivability. With the mega survivability. Yeah, I had some archers idle too, unfortunately. Whew. Crazy match though, crazy match. Yeah, if even though ethereals are obviously not the greatest, right? GG well played. GG well played. Even though ethereals are not the greatest, if you bring no counters to them, you're still screwed. I'll know for next time. GG well played. Maximilianaire, very high tier vampire counts player. Let's see here. Yeah, so you had the corpse carts. Non-regenerating. Manfred, though, farmed too much value off of me. His hex rates actually didn't do much, though. It was actually a very close game. Alternatively, I could have just gone more ranged and just tried to outshoot him. But there you go. All right. So let's declare that, and then we're good. All right. So I'll obviously have to win some matches very quickly to get back into it, but I think it can be done. I think it can be done. Let's check out the leaderboard. Yeah. Yeah, build loss, unfortunately. Honestly, if I replace these guys with my usual war wagons too, I think they're actually just way better than the Outriders. Outriders were cool. They were kind of fancy. But if I just brought like 4 war wagons, he actually just gets shot to death. There's very little that he can do because his hex rates just get murdered, and the zombie summons can't do anything. Just join Vargeist. Yeah, I brought a slightly suboptimal build, and then he counter builded very well, by the way, and then we got a very close game. Why are greatswords better now? It's not really because they're an amazing unit. It's because they fill a job that Empire today needs dealing with, which is killing mid-tier infantry. They're like just good enough to kill mid-tier infantry, and the meta has accepted them arms wide open. All right, so I have my opponent, but they typed in the wrong thing. I'll help them out. All right. Okay, let's do it. Pope Patty. We must climb back up. So we're on Cursed Oasis. All right, and it's gonna be Empire versus Bretonnia. Oh boy, this one's kind of sus, but I think we can manage. What do you think about Beyond All Reason? I think it's fun. I don't know if it's like crazy though. I don't think it's blowing my mind or anything. I think it's just like a solid RTS. You didn't see if any magic got put into the rates? I got 1 overcast final transmutation on them, which did a lot. But not quite enough. What I really needed was, where are they at? Actually, I don't have magic damage cavalry. So I actually would need Flaming Sword, or just bring the wagons. I think the wagons are good enough. Let's see. Speaking of wagons, versus Bretonnia. I don't know exactly how I feel about them. I think they are okay, but nothing too crazy. So, what we're going to be doing is a little bit of this. I think Bretonnia, obviously here, they're going to rely a lot on the cavalry, and the fact that infantry mass is not particularly strong, to try and bully my forces. So, how do you pin down Bretonnian cavalry as Empire? I guess that's the real question. And can I use a Luminarch? The answer is probably no, but I really want to at some point. Luminarchs do so much damage. Vampire counts magic? Oh, I assume he popped a few heals here or there, but I wasn't paying attention too much. So archers here are much worse. Shielded and armored cavalry. Very scary. Honestly, though, if I just do this, it's probably enough. It's probably enough. We can just keep it real simple. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Alright. This is definitely keeping it very simple. But I think in general, this is kind of annoying for Bretonnia to have to deal with. I actually like what I see a lot here. Do I want Free Company Militia versus Bretonnia? Pistols don't do armor piercing, so probably not. Sure, this should be good enough. ROR War Wagon. The multi-shot thing. The artillery piece War Wagon. That one's actually pretty good. A little expensive, though. Keeping it alive can be a little sketch. Oh, hey, I don't have a screen blocker. Oh, we're fine then. We're fine then. Oh, you guys can just see what I'm bringing. Whoops, daisies. Whatever. The world is ending. I just need Flaming Sword. It was meta before. Empire used to bring Flaming Sword before. And they should still nowadays, just because they technically don't really have any magic damage units. Not enough anyways to really punch through the ethereals. So. Yeah. But, is it a good spell? Honestly, it's only because it's in the Lore of Fire, man. If I could take Aspect of the Dread Knight instead, I would. To be fair, I thought you were helping Patty as much as possible. Give him the stream snipe. Whatever. We will avenge ourselves. In before Mass Infantry Bretonnia. So the reason I think this is good into Mass Infantry Bretonnia is because they struggle against these sniper units. So if I just use my long rifles effectively here, I think we'll be okay. Just kind of long rifle his boys. We'll be set. Now, what do I want the cannon? This seems like pretty good line of sight. Park it right here. Keep the halberds in the back. Keep the shielded boys in the front. The idea is simple. He just can't get through this, right? It's just too many. It's just too many boys. This is an absurd number of infantry units. I already control both points with the cannon. And Gelt ensures that if he spams Knights Errant, my Empire Knights, who are technically worse than the glorious Knights Errant, with Searing Doom, that changes things. And the thing is, Bretonnia doesn't have Searing Doom. So I really don't think there's much of a problem there. He goes Mantonia with the Field Trebuchets. Fine by me. Field Trebuchets will have a hard time trading into Warriors of Chaos. They will have an even harder time trading into these guys. It's really just the halberds that'll be kind of scary. Bunch of men-at-arms shields, alright. So this is just telling me, yeah, enjoy the long rifling, right? Go for it, man. Just take them. Have a good time. I will have to deal with Louis, of course. Good old Louis can dodge it up. But with 2 long rifles nearby, I should be fine. He's gonna park behind the tower. Coward, this guy. How do you even... This is why he doesn't get the blessing of the lady. Well, he does. He does have, like, this blessing of the lady, but... The, or was it the other one? The Perfect Vigor. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Anyways. Let's go ahead. Park over here. Brace for impact. It's just the Knights of the Realm. Nothing too scary. And then I just gotta have some cavalry summons ready, really. Now, archers are pretty menacing. You can see they're actually controlling the point. No point losing my units for that. My long rifles are cooking, though. The cannons getting valley. It's not like he can rush me, right? This is a battle of the shooting. So I might as well treat it that way and get more shooting. Wind cast. Okay, wind blaster. Alright. Gonna be slightly terrifying. Should be fine, though. I think this is all a battle of shooting. We gotta make sure we don't overextend, of course. So I'm just gonna position it like so. Gotta keep dodging the artillery. And then our range units can just plonk away. Peasants aren't worth very much, so I'm not gonna get a lot by shooting them. But they are in an exposed position, and the HP does have to be killed eventually, so we might as well. I just gotta keep dodging here in case that wind blast comes down and gets a lot of work done. Is this gonna work? If he gives this to me, that'd be great. The trebuchets can't hit these guys at such long range, so that's just not gonna work. And Louis keeps taking damage. Now you gotta remember, I have a great sword in here somewhere. Yeah, there they are. So if a frontline fight does happen, it's not gonna go very well. Basically what we want to do is to just sit on this point and just keep up trading. In theory, the value I get from this is pretty great. Oh, there's a gold chevron trebuchets. That's hilarious. That explains why his army's so small. I would take the fight, but the archers are such a strong tool here. Ah, crap. Range unit issues. You see them walking sideways? I'm going to have to push up a bit more to take this space. Now, I will be able to take the space, thankfully. We shall be able to take it. You can see the cannons here. They can target his boys. Louis, not liking the deeps that he's taken. I am unfortunately out of range units though. But if he gets low enough, it stops him from being able to dive into me laking. And now we're going to get the capture point. That's going to buy me a solid amount of time here. A solid amount of time that we absolutely need. Because, you know, if this just goes on too long, maybe he just kills me. Maybe he just kills me with the sheer weight of 1,000,000 trebuchets. Honestly, I don't exactly know how this plays out. He does get one cavalry unit caught, though. That's a little unfortunate. Looks like he's going for a bit of a dive. Ah, and he has the trebuchet shooting at my demi-knights. High value target to hit. Now, I do manage to secure the point, though. And now he's going to have to decide how he deals with the guns. So, obviously, my guns are really good at shutting these guys down. We will be able to hit up his Knights of the Realm, no problem. And then he's going to go for a bit of a flank here, but I'm not going to give him too much purchase on my stuff. What is going to happen, though, he's going to kill some of my long rifles, which is not very pleasant. Now, I should still be able to punch through that front line, no problem. But a little worried, I am indeed. We're going to catch some of his Knights, though. A little bit of a misplay. Demi-Knights are in there. Ugh, losing the long rifles, though, is a bit bad. I don't like that. At the very least, I might be able to get a good Searing Doom here, maybe. No, he knocks down the Gelt. Geltnator down. I don't know if I like where this is going, actually. If he keeps knocking down Gelt, I don't get the Searing Doom either. I very much so want that. Cannon, though, gonna rout off more cavalry. Gonna retarget onto another cav. Gonna see if we can surround these guys. I do still have the capture point. So I'd say this ain't the end of the world. Maybe I can beat up your boy over here. We did get that solid Searing Doom down. Very nice. And more man-tiding should go fairly decently for us. It's just these archers are all over me, aren't they? And he is going to secure the point. Now, I think we are far from screwed, as long as I have a bunch of these guys around. One of his cav units come back, though. That's unfortunate. Ouch, that chain lightning's really hurting me, too. And another trebuchet? Alright, that is pretty crazy. So he's in for the long con. That's kind of what that's saying to me. Interesting, interesting. Got a brace for charge. Brace for impact. I'm gonna get a partial brace, but not the best. Could be better, for sure. Louis, though. He also could be a bit better. He's getting worked on a little bit by my boys. And I will be able to secure the flank point. And I will be able to get some Empire Knights in the works. So I think we're not screwed. Value-wise, we're technically slightly ahead. I got great swords coming in. I got some boys ready to disrupt. And I still have the Demi-Knights, which is super important. He's actually hard focusing it with all his trebs. So if I keep dodging with them, then we're actually just negating the value of like a few thousand gold. I'll take that, man. I'll take that any day. Just keep dodging with them and they're good. He's also using his archers on them too. We'll see how long it takes him to notice. That's a huge cav blob. Oh, but he pulls out just in time. While I was casting it. Brutal. Either he saw it coming or I don't know. Well, that's going to be slightly painful. At the end of the day, I do still have some knights here. We do still have our cannons. They'll be plonking away. The Demi-Knights still live. That's very good. And can he mop up all my boys just kind of rushing in here? We'll see. We'll see. I think this is a precarious situation, though. Like, Louis absolutely can get a lot of healing done. I should be able to get a nice night charge here, at least. Alright, there we go. And we got the Gelt Searing Doom action on the way. He's forced to retreat. That's good for me. The center position is still very solid, however. But you can see his lines are starting to get a little thin. And if I can get some knights into the cookie jar, I think we have a chance. Can I brace in time, though, for the cav charge? Unfortunately, it seems... we get a partial. I'll take it, I'll take it. And now we're in the cookie jar. And if I take out his artillery, it's actually not too bad for us. Take a look at this. We still have Gelt. He's still alive. I'm going to start spamming some great swords over here. That's good. There's the cav charge right on top of the archers. They don't like that. Nice. And that's one trebuchet down. Maybe two. And if I pile on in and he overblobs against me, Gelt can potentially get a sick final transmutation. Killing off the archers, though, is the main thing. Killing off the artillery is kind of a stretch goal. To get both is amazing. Okay, nice. Yeah, I just need Gelt to get that sick Searing Doom on there. And then I may have a chance yet in this treacherous battle. He's microing his cav well, though. What I think he might have a hard time against, though, is this armored infantry. And the fact that my artillery piece is still cooking. He summons Grail Knights at a time like this versus my artillery? Okay. Now, that's a pretty wild play. I'm very interested to see how this goes. Because that's going to really hurt his capture weight at a time when we, in theory, are pulling a pretty decent capture weight lead. I question the decision, but that doesn't mean that we are out of the woods just yet. I'm going to need more infantry. We're going to pile on in. Gelt is going to get on the point. I'm just going to run away from this cav in the hopes that that keeps my guys alive. Let's get a Searing Doom there. If he doesn't notice it, that'd be great. And he notices partially. Not the end of the world, though. I still have a lot of guns online. That's all that matters to me. Those are Grail Knights, too. The fact that they're already half dead is amazing. Should be able to shut down another artillery piece. All right. I think the plan is going decently. Like, we are actually... We're holding triple cap now. The game's been going on for what feels like forever. But now he's starting to really falter, right? Look at those artillery pieces, really suffering. I'm gonna need these guys to be summoned soon. Can he secure points, though, with this? Can he secure points with this? I don't know. It's gonna be close, that's for sure. Got to charge on the Grail Knights. Gonna finish them off with the Searing Doom. It's the resummons now that are gonna do it. At this point, my infantry will get here before this guy captures. That's gonna be very nice. The middle point is secured by me a million times over, and this side is not contested. That tells me that we are going to be winning on tickets if we can maintain the status quo. A big ask for sure, especially because we're seeing a bit of a Gelt snipe coming on in. Gonna de-summon these guys too. I'm gonna save... Oh, he's going for the Gelt snipe. I'm just gonna drop a Searing Doom here to peel these guys out of the awkward situation. Alright, there we go. We'll just keep hammering those Grail Knights. You can see the halberds and the boys are getting in there as expected. Okay. But here he comes. So Pegasus Knights are gonna get a sick charge there. Not a whole lot we can really do about that. Gelt, though. Running for his life. But we will be able to stall this point, thank goodness. So I just need to park on it, barely, so that he doesn't capture it. If I keep advancing, he's just gonna ruin me, right? We wouldn't want that. Point is held, though. Point is held. And now you can see he's starting to bring in the boys. He knows that he has to secure something. And he's going to try and make a play for the middle point. That is fine for me, though. As Gelt, the indestructible, he's just going to walk the walk. He's going to keep going nice and slow. He's going to dodge this Searing Doom. He's been very good about dodging the Searing Dooms. It's going to land. It's going to be partial. That'll have to be... That'll have to do, I guess. Run, Gelt! Run! He's doing his best. The triple cap is going to be the end of him, though. And I think against the trebuchets, with the power of raw capture weight, we shall prevail. Gonna get one last debuff here, but I still have more than enough weight on the points. And we also have the other points. So overall, very close game. Very close game. We played an infantry style. He had some really good spell dodges going on. Honestly, 2 very close games today. But I think being forced to summon in Grail Knights when he really just wanted more cheap Knights is what put him in a bad position. And you could tell he was forced to bring them in because I also am unable to bring in other units right now. I think we both ran out of things to summon. So GG, well played. And that's going to get us our first win of the day against Pope Paddy. Alright, GG, well played. So that's going to set us up for our next game. It's going to be Kane 8, Cannon. Wonderful value. I think all range units did pretty good, yeah. They were what won it for me. And then the Griffites not dying to the artillery pieces. If they died, it would have been over. Yo, alright. And what is this? Empire versus Beasties. Oh boy, alright. On Decrepit Moor. Okay. This is an okay map for Beastmen, nothing crazy. Man, that was a crazy game though. Yeah, that was a fun one. Alright, Beastmen though, they only got so much. They only have so much they can do against the tide of man that is us. I think if I just do this, we're already in a good spot. Let's see here. Okay, I do have to be a little careful though. So Beastmen, obviously they have Centaurs, very strong. They do suffer versus the Spearmen spam though. And also, this is a situation where Free Company Militia are really fun. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Free Company Militia are amazing here. For their ability to just poke forever. Just constantly poke and damage the enemy. So I think I will want a rather ludicrous number of these guys. We got the wagons. Obviously, great swords are really good. The great swords make the Empire army feel almost impenetrable. It's amazing. And then just a couple Empire Knights, right? Do I need Altdorf Griffite to cause terror? That's pretty good versus Beastmen, right? Yeah, that seems like a good build. We'll have to make our builds quickly here because we were down 1 game at the start. So I'm going to have to make up for that. The army blockers, like the guy wearing a mask, and when you take it off, it's the same face. Yeah, technically, you know, people could just look at the stream and guess what I'm going to bring. But you can't know for sure, and that's what helps. I'm wild. I'm a wild card. How'd the Trebs do? Ah, sorry, I forgot to check. Trebs only good versus steam tanks. They're not super great in general. They were good for kind of poking my long rifles a bit. But if you think about it, he would have killed those long rifles with a bit of extra cavalry, right? I don't think the trebuchets were good there. Honestly, I think if Pope Paddy started with cavalry instead of that, it would have been so hard to defend the long rifles, I'd kind of be screwed. But they did force me to advance, which is an easy way to make a ton of misplays. So, hard to tell. Anyways, I got a huge army, big enough to control both points at the same time. Really good luck, have fun. Because I had some extra money, I'm going to try running Gehenna's Golden Hounds today. This is a weird spell. It got buffed a while ago. It's 15 vortex damage. In theory, very good versus a lot of stuff, actually. Can last 26 seconds or 13 seconds. In theory, fairly good, but moving small vortexes like this tend to be quite inconsistent. However, if I can kill even a couple Ungor Raiders with it, I think I'm still happy. Mixing it up, you know, also just getting a feel for the magic. But here's the play. Don't get super surrounded by the Beastmen. He has 16 units. So I definitely have more stuff than him. But it is very easy to get my guys occupied and stuck on each other. And Centaurs especially will be a menace. We're gonna see a Malagor. The Dark Omen has arrived. Gonna turn off Fire at Will, because I respect him enough to be able to dodge me. At the very least, Flock of Doom will not be super strong. And then it's all about getting into position and not taking a dumb fight. So here we go. We got a couple archers. They're going to shoot their first volley. They're going to miss it real hard. And then we're going to return fire with the war wagons. There you go. Pretty decent little poking. We're going to turn on Fire at Will now, since the fight is, again, a little bit more hot here. That's going to net them a free little hit over there. And we're going to use our free company to try and get some flank shots here. Alternatively, well, maybe we can get a hit here. He gets a decent Flock of Doom, nothing too crazy. But at the end of the day, we're just here to trade. There's no point actually taking a really sketchy fight here. I have so much range firepower. We're up value trading them. Really no reason to get into the thick of things. In fact, he has so much infantry, I really want to get another greatsword, but just in case we have a cav show up, I'm gonna do this instead. So there's the archers, right? They're posting up. They want to get a shot off, but whoa, it's a vortex, technically stronger than Pit of Shades. And it's gonna go the right direction. About a 50% chance that we were gonna get that. It's gonna work out well for us, though. It's gonna get the gores in. Alright, we're gonna charge them with some great swords. And we're just gonna cover our flanks and make sure that my range units... make sure they're able to shoot. That's the gist of it. Yeah, just make sure they can shoot, and then you're good. Gonna get the greatsword charge in there against some basic gores. They should be fine. We're gonna get some greatswords in here and swap them out with these spears. Make life difficult for them on the infantry front. And Gelt is just gonna keep routing these guys off with his sweet, sweet magic. He will melt their tiny mines. And then we're gonna see some Centaurs here. Double Centaur though. Wow, okay. Well, that's gonna be a slight problem then, right? Because now my cavalry can't exactly fight that. So we're gonna have to bring in the boys over there. I'm going to get a, oh. Alright. Where'd that cast? God dang it, I clicked twice too fast. And it ended up casting on Gelt. Slight unfortunate situation. That was supposed to be a big play. Ended up being a bit of a miscast. At a pivotal moment. That could lose me the game if I'm unlucky. I also left my wagons in the fight for too long. Should have used them to fight these guys. Multiple misplays. I don't think we're out yet though. But certainly not a great situation. Where are these guys right now? Running in the wrong direction. Brutal. My lines are feeling like they're starting to pull apart a bit much too. I would say this is getting bad. I would say this is getting a little bit bad. My fight here did not go cleanly at all. Not in the slightest. And I was not able to make use of my chariots. I should have just hunkered down on this and gotten value with them. I'm going to try and pull back a win though. He has the dogs, the war hounds here. And the greatswords are still doing okay. But losing this point, not very good. Not very good at all. Oh, God. He played well, though, honestly. He played real well. We're going to try and get a proper cast. Yeah, there's a problem in the game where if you click twice too quickly, you can just screw yourself when it comes to magic. That's why magic spell casting has to be very deliberate. Okay, this guy I'm just gonna leave on skirmish mode. Who knows? Maybe things will turn up my way. We'll see. I don't like that his archers are gonna kill me though, and I don't like that this front line, this flank is going so badly. Oh man. Brutal. How much time do I have left? I still have like 45 minutes. It'll be more difficult to get into finals though, for sure. Yeah, we're washed. We're washed. Look at us. Let's see here. Is there any way I can pull this back, or do we call it quits now? Value trading is still kind of close. I think the potential to scrap it back is still high. So I'm going to go for that. What's good at scrapping it back? Cavalry and skirmishers. We're going to use these guys to the maximum advantage we possibly can. It's also very hard to chase off all these infantry forces, so they will rally. And I have like a great sword coming on in. They'll be able to bully them along with some cav support. That's actually pretty good. Gonna get another little vortex here and bully those guys. You know what? Maybe not impossible. Maybe not impossible. I still think it's a bad situation. But if I can kill off all these archers and he's left unprepared or something, I could totally see this swinging in my favor. But it's gonna be difficult. No matter what, it's gonna be difficult. We did rout off the doggos though. We did secure the points. Very important. Just have to pull these guys back. Okay. We are gonna catch the archers. I'm gonna use a greatsword to shield against the Sons of Goros. We're gonna free up some spears on the far side. We're unwashing ourselves as I speak. Alright. That's gonna be a lackluster charge, isn't it? No, it's actually a pretty decent charge. Alright, that's not too bad then. Well, I'll just keep running then. Gotta play keep away from the Sons of Goros. Well, maybe I can just shoot them in the back. They are gonna catch me, unfortunately. I will be able to get another Golden Hounds over here, though. Nice. That's pretty decent. Alright, we're gonna get a lot of shooting into the corn gores. Gonna get a decent charge over here. It's all very close. All very, very close. Can I rout these guys off, though? Oh, boy, he actually misplayed. Disengaged from my cavalry before the rout. I think we might be able to pull this back. It's gonna be super sketchy, but as long as I make the right plays, I don't see us... yeah, I don't see us having a guaranteed loss. It's really just the misplays that'll do it for me. You can see the corn gores really don't like that damage coming on in. I'm just gonna keep spamming the man tide. We're just gonna keep spamming out the man tide. My ability to come back is very high. Okay, there we go. He's left his archers fairly exposed too. But tickets. Tickets are gonna be kind of sketch. I gotta hammer this position and get the point captured sooner rather than later. I think if there's one way we lose, it's gonna be that. Tickets will be difficult. But look at this. He used his Centaurs to charge my Free Company militia. That's actually not gonna work out very well for him, as now my wagons are starting to pile in. Centaurs are great and all, but they're not amazing. Unfortunately, though, Gelt is gonna rout. Oh, what a tragedy. Gelt getting absolutely wrecked. The Centaurs, though, trying to pull in. Gonna see if we can secure some good charges. I'm gonna lose the home point, though. Maybe I can barely hold it if he misplays. He's still chasing Gelt, and he's over chasing these guys. I'm gonna try and save the home point. If I lose the home point, I think it's over. So we're just gonna have to go for the big play. He summons more dogs. Cavalry's very good versus dogs. Okay, we're starting to capture the point. That's good. Okay, he's trying to peel some of his cav off. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we are going to hold the point, but at what cost? Gelt may very well die. That would be bad. I think I need the leadership. So that means my wagons are going to have to be busy for the next little while. Very unfortunate. If that home point was held a little bit better, I think we might have a chance, given enough time. I did manage to rout off these guys, though. That's good. So, don't call it quits just yet. Let's get another wagon. Another value trading wagon. So I know he has a little dude over here. But one Ungor is not going to hold this point forever, right? Okay, I have a little bit of time. have 2.5 minutes. I can live with that. I can live with that. Oh, crap. There's another Centigore. Dude, if I just played the early game slightly smarter, I think he'd be so screwed. The, yeah, Gehenna's Hounds is good, though. Like, that's gonna get a good amount of damage. I don't think I'm getting the point, though. I think we're gonna have to pull back. Oh, God, this is gonna be so close. It's gonna be so close. And he's gonna go for Gelt. He's going for my boy. He's gonna let him get shot, though. It depends on how bad of army losses is here. I think that's exactly how it's gonna, yeah, it's gonna pan out. Because I'm basically trading Gelt for the Cav unit, which is about as good of a play as I can attempt to make. We are going to secure this point, probably, though, at least. Okay. And then that's going to leave me with like a couple minutes at best to secure this last point. So I'm going to send 1 infantry over there. Okay, all right. All right, I should be able to get this point. Oh, it's going to be so close, though. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, all right. So I do get the point. I do ride off the dogs. And I'm going to have like 2 minutes left. Oh, God. All right. How's Gelt doing? He has a decent amount of HP. I'll take it. I'm going to need some mobility to get on that point in 2 minutes, though, right? 1 infantry is not going to cut it. How's Gelt doing? Live, Gelt, live! All right, guy's going to be all right. He's going to be fine. I'll take it, I'll take it. Do I secure this point in time, though? Did I? He has 100 seconds. 100 seconds in a dream. Oh, boy, all right. Well, here's the thing. He has a bunch of infantry here. So, I think we're pretty screwed, right? I'm going to get an okay charge here, but it's not perfect. Those Ungors popping up are going to make life really hard. First and foremost, though, I have to secure this point. Dude, this was a super close match. Some very spicy matches today, but if he captures this, it's over. Yeah, there's no way. GG, well played. Dang, another loss. Whew. Very close games, though. Very close games. And we can play slightly better. We're up against Pope Patty again. Alright, here we go. Pope Patty. The Hounds, the Mist Hound from the double click, I think screwed me. Though that's not the only play. There were many, many plays we could have made there to win. Playing a slightly tighter box would have done it. Oof. Alright. Glades of the Everqueen. Oh boy, we're gonna need to do this quick. We're gonna need to do this quick if we want to qualify. Oh, man. Obviously, Kane played it very well too. But I think we could totally win it. We can totally win it. Okay, Pope Patty needs a second. Why bring Gelt though? Because he's cheap. He's super cheap. Though against Beastmen, I could see you might want to bring other stuff. But it lets you bring that quantity of dudes that really let your free company cook. I just didn't position well enough. Though, you know, there's nothing wrong with bringing like a Boris or something to play more traditional Empire. But alright, here we go. Glades of the Everqueen. It's a sketchy situation. So, he took the infantry last time. We know that. I think I gotta be a little bit more careful here. Because, well, for one, he might just try the same build. Honestly, we don't know exactly what he's gonna do. Now, Black Lions here could be hilarious. But if he hard counters them, I'm so screwed. So I gotta make sure that we have some sort of counter on that front. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this instead. Now, if he goes man-tied, I still have a solution. But I feel like he might not go man-tied, and even if he does, this should still be very strong. Okay, alright. Let's see what else I want here. Decent amount of money left. Ooh, perfect spend. Hell yeah. Alright. And then I just need a caster. Thank goodness there's metal casters now in the Empire roster. For 350, that's crazy. 250 base cost caster. Alright, and he's already ready, so I gotta pick up the pace because obviously we want to win games quickly here. Whoops. There we go. Alright. Let's try this out. I don't know if it's a perfect build, but it should be decent. Glades of the Everqueen's a better map for him. Oh boy. You predict the Luminarch? I really want to, but I also really want to make it to top 4. Marcus with the snare. Marcus with snare is pretty nice. Why is Gelt not flying? Yeah. We want him cheap because we're trying to make use of our army. Armies tend to scale better the bigger your army gets, as opposed to your lord getting stronger. The reason you bring an expensive lord is because they fill a specific niche that you're trying to solve. And yeah, oftentimes you don't really need it. Though, not having a source of easy terror was definitely pretty rough there. Like, I think if I had a Boris flying around and a smaller army, we probably could have gotten more done, but here we go. Black Lions, people. Think about it. Look at this unit. This glorious unit. Armor piercing. It's like a long rifle, but on wheels. And the reason we have that, if you just zoom in a bit, look at all the line of sight issues that we have here, right? Okay, yeah, there's a hill there, but if you're over here, what can you actually see? Right? It's very bad line of sight on this map for gunpowder. And in case he went man-tied again, I brought a mortar for his archers, but so far we're seeing no archers. So we'll just do this. Does Gelt bring anything special a wizard doesn't? Yes, he is a lord caster. Normal, you can't take wizards as your lord. So I'd have to spend like 1,000 gold on like someone else. And I don't think they would be able to get much value. Now I respect Pope Patty's ability to dodge here. So I'm just gonna not shoot with the black lines just yet. There's really no point. Boris though, trying to get in there. Alright. I'm gonna give an attack command over there. And what do I want my first call-ins to be? Ooh, thank goodness he whiffed that. Alright. Pretty sketchy overall. We're seeing very few archers. Like, no archers. Wow. Okay. It's a good thing I have these guys. Ooh. Ooh, that's bad. Oh, my goodness. Left open a big shot from Louis. He doesn't kill it. He doesn't kill it just yet. And he gets charged by Boris for it. But that was actually a really big misplay, letting one of the wagons get hit. Not nearly on point today. Not nearly on point. Though, getting the damage on Louis is not bad. We might actually get a big play here, because he got caught on one of the wagons. The unit he was trying to kill will get its vengeance on him with the power of its mass. Okay, and he does escape, and so does my thing over here. So, overall, not too bad. Let's see how aggressive he is. He really wants it. Misplays the Knights of the Realm, though. Gets him charged. Don't think he appreciates that. Alright, now we're just gonna see if we can win the air game. We're actually in a weird position where the air game absolutely can be won by us. So all men-at-arms, okay. Yeah, let's play the Cav game then. I think the Cav game is good because we have that mobility advantage right now. Louis on the run, right? That's a huge plus. Okay. Then we're going to just drop a Searing Doom over there. Hopefully he doesn't disengage. Yeah, and it's just going to shoot at my Demi-Knights, which we will not allow. And then there he goes, landing. That's a sign of weakness. We take those. Okay, and then I'm going to get a mortar over here, because he actually does have a lot of infantry to spare. I don't really want them getting too much work done. What I really want to do is just rout off this here front line. Jeez Louise, those knights hold like no one's business, do they? Much better than my cav, I'll tell you that. Alright, I think we can start pulling in the boys on the flank. So we've gone one break, but he had some guys to reinforce. Okay. We're gonna get a little bit of a rear charge here. A little bit of lag, that's okay. How's my wizard doing? Yeah, we have another Searing Doom, okay. And that's gonna trade out the cav. Not bad, not bad. I can bring in more cav over here to handle this situation. We can run through our spear support. And then at the same time, get a big charge on Lewin. I think that little outplay there might do him in. We'll see. If I can get enough damage on Lewin, I think we're in a great position. I can shoot him on the way out too. I don't think he'll like that very much. And of course, we have our mortar over here, just launching shots into the horizon. I'm gonna go for a big old Searing Doom right on top of all these guys. What is that? A chain lightning. Ouch. 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 Pretty painful, but we're still holding. Louis suffering too. My front line, though, not as good as it could be. I'm going to need to stabilize it with some cavalry. Louis, though, is really getting bullied, though. I think if we can just keep bullying him, I'm happy. Having fewer greatswords in this game, though, is definitely holding me back. But I think we're doing okay. Like, the mortar is doing okay. The war wagons have a decent amount of value, actually. Okay. Demi Knights doing not bad. I just don't know if the front line will do well enough, though, right? I kind of need... It feels like I need more boys. Ugh, there's a big cav blob there. We'll see what we can get done, though. Just gonna bring in the Louis. We're gonna get the Searing Doom. It's gonna hurt him a lot. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah, alright. Alright. Thank goodness I still have all the chariots alive, too. That's actually very important right now. But the middle point is starting to falter. And for each cavalry unit I bring in, he's probably just gonna raw up trade against me. So I have to be doubly careful there. Most of my value, by the way, is just on Lewin, which is not great until the moment he dies. Oh, crap. I also triggered his thing. So that's why all his guys are fighting so good. Crap, I forgot about that. Well, that might just lose me the game then. I gave him the mega buff. Now, if I kill him, that's great. But if I don't, we're doomed. And I don't really have means to kill him, which is very bad. Very, very bad. We actually, yeah, we have to kill him then. It's literally the only way we win this. I've sunken all my points into potentially taking him down. That means that we need to play for the long game here. Now, I am going to get a pretty massive route here at least. Okay, and we're going to get the black lines, shoot him. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Oh. Big misplay, big misplay. And we'll see. Hey, maybe he just routes. Maybe he just routes. Holy crap, -3 leadership. Wait, bro, just shoot him. Oh, come on, Black Lions. This one's on you. Just shoot him, man. Just kill the man, please. Oh, he's bleeding. He doesn't like the shots. He's at 5 leadership right now. I'm seeing a big rout on his boys. Come on, you darn Black Lions. Shoot. Just shoot. They get a volley off. A little bit of damage. A little bit more damage. He didn't dodge. He didn't dodge. Let's go. We have a chance. All right. We have the foes got victory point. All right. May the odds forever be in my favor. Gonna get Searing Doom there. That's gonna bully him real good. We're just gonna, yeah. Oh my god. Is this random damsel just clipped into my lord? Or what? Oh, he's microing her super hardcore. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna kill her. I'm just gonna kill her. Louis is so low that if Boris just sniffs him, he's done for, right? So I think I don't have to worry about that. He might actually just be done for. 0 leadership. Holy crap. It's a close one. It's a close one. I'll give it that. Come on, run. He rallies. He rallies. What a Chad. Is it enough, though? I think he still loses just because he has no units left. Hero wagon, get in there. He doesn't heal anymore because he broke. That's how he works. I'm going to need a desummon this. There's literally no more infantry for me to shoot. Oh, it's going for him. It's going for him. He doesn't have any more magic. I think in the big scrap, he, yeah, I think he just slowly fell behind on the value trading. Holy moly, what a fight. What a fight. Oh my god. Brace, men of the Empire. Brace, I say. Alright, I just gotta look at him. Just need to breathe in his general direction. And he is a dead man. And then as soon as that kicks in, the Bretonnians will be no more. Hopefully. He catches the black lions. Brutal. This also will be leaving Boris a little useless for a little while. But it's so important to kill Lewin here that I'm just gonna have to commit. If I lose a point, that's okay. Is he gonna pull him away or what? Oh, he routes! And he leaves! Success! GG, well played! Oh my god, what a game. What a game! Oh my gosh, these matches are tight. These are super close matches. Again, we're up against Ponty now. Alright. Trebuchet got its value. Holy crap. He lost the Grail Knights for basically free though. Or no, I think they never got into a fight. Louis, if Louis just did not get so wrecked, we'd be fine. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's crazy, that match there. Okay, we're up against Ponty next. They're on Dark Elves. I can manage that. And they're on Bray Valley. Okay. Jeez, what a match, though. Not deliver. I took Great Swords. The Great Swords help mop up in the late game. These are some nail biters, yeah. Oh, man. Okay, alright. Yo, yo. If he's playing Dark Elves, I think the plan is simple. I think the plan is simple. Yeah, this is good versus Dark Elves. And then I can go ahead and take a little bit of this. Yes. And then I can also do this. 110,000% yes. Okay. I think we'll be fine versus Dark Elves. You're just allergic to dodging spells? You dodge a lot of spells, man. I don't know what you're talking about. A few of them did land and quite hard, though, but I wouldn't say your spell dodging was bad. I had to be very careful about where I was placing things. Because it was always a little sketchy. Okay, alright. Can I win this one, though? Can I pull a victory here? Dark Elves are a menace. At the end of the day, this is going to be difficult, and if he does a build up, that's going to make things doubly awkward for me. Great Swords are not bad versus Corsairs, though. I think they will do quite well. It's the Cold One Knights, right? Yeah, it's the Cold One Knights that'll give me a little bit of trouble. Cleaning those guys up is an entirely different kind of circumstance. Now, they are slow, so there's a few things they're bad at doing. So I think these dudes will do well. And I think I have a very mild build. A very mild build. All right, let's do it. I gotta win. I got 25 minutes to win this one and then win the next one. And then I have a chance of qualifying for top 4. Currently, I'm still pretty low. I'm only at 1,000 MMR. But Martin is only at 1,027. So like 2 wins will get ahead of him. That's not too bad. That's actually not too bad at all. Okay. The golden trebs are actually worth it. Yeah, they did really well that game. I don't know if a ton of golden trebs will work just because it takes too long to get the value back. But like just a one of. That's solid. This is also solid though. So look at this. I have an interesting army. All right. It's an 8-unit kite. All right. Ready. Good luck. Have fun. It's an 8-unit kite. You can do this because engineers don't count as skirmishers. I brought up the issue with creative assembly. And they feel like this is okay. So I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. And then I will spam great swords out to clean up whatever mess of infantry he has left. Upcasting Searing Doom AoE, kind of big. Yeah, shoot and scoot galore, yep. He has a Hydra. If he leaves now, he will be doing me very many favors indeed. If we could just get an instant leave, please. I think that would be amazing. My build is not that advantage versus his, but definitely bringing a Hydra and then seeing this has to be at least a little disheartening. There's no way she keeps running this direction, right? Not with this many guns. Shoot her up. Oh, she's dodging well, actually. Oh my gosh, look at that. Very little damage overall. Oh, look at him go. All right. Plan B. Kill everything else. Also, he has tons of infantry. So why not bring more guns? More guns. Powder for days. How did the saying go? Gunpowder, gunpowder, gunpowder. I think that's what we want to do today. Has a singular dark shard over here. Not a big deal. That's mercurial shot for you. 1 million damage. Now we're just gonna run through his lines because guess what? You do not have the mobility to shut this down. No Dark Rider start is rough, that's for sure. There they are though. No, it's Beastmaster. Okay. Interesting. Gonna have to pull back a little bit. Ouch. Took a big volley from the shades. That's a big misplay, but we didn't lose any entities, so I'll be able to stick around. Thank goodness. Alright, but I have the guns here. I have the iron sides. So now what are you gonna do? He's not spamming cavalry, which is actually very surprising. I'm gonna relocate all my units over here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get another mercurial shot over there. That's just the delete yo boys shot. There you go. And then if I can get this thing dead, that's a big loss for him. It heals though. Pretty terrifying. I think we're just gonna get a route, which I think is okay for this. He keeps it alive. What a Chad. Holy crap. All right. I'm surprised he still hasn't summoned cavalry though. No cav. All right. We'll see how this goes. This map is very good for these shooty lines. We're gonna start restocking these bad boys. I do secure myself a little capture point here. But here he goes. Trying to make a sick play. I will say these Hydras, their missile resist is working out really well for them. Is it working crazy well though? Like, is it actually going to hold for this push? I really do wonder now. Gonna see the guns are really painful. Oh boy, the guns are so painful. Jeez. Jeez, that poor Hydra. Alright. That's a good start. I'll say that. Let's get a mercurial shot on these dark shards just to get them dealt with. If I can just kill the Hydra, it's if I can just route it, then we're good here. But yeah, he's resetting its charges right now. That's really strong. We did get a solid mercurial shot, but finally there's his cavalry. And the War Hydra is going to hold. Wow, this one though, kind of sus. Gonna need to pull back with the guns. Gonna need to pull back with the engineers. We'll kill off his infantry. And then... I think I'm saving up for the Demogryph Knights. I think a couple Demogryph Knights is what I need here. I think I kind of have to shut down this Manticore, stop it from being too annoying. Okay, this is fine, actually. I actually welcome this, because if I can just land a perfect Mercurial shot, we're good. If it friendly fires, we're doomed. Whiffs, I guess that's a good middle ground. Alright, well, we routed off one infantry unit. I'd say this ain't going nearly as well as I would have hoped, though. The Hydras actually really tanked it up. I am surprised at how effective they were. Surprised indeed. Great swords are going to have to fight Witch Elves, which I think they actually do fairly well against. Oh my god, I hate that walking sideways bug, man. That bug sucks so hard. Alright, but here, we're getting into position now. I just gotta, yeah, use the Great Sword summons to wall him off. One of the Hydras came back, but now he's in a situation where he's just gonna get shot into a million teeny tiny pieces, yeah? There's no way you can really stop this from going down, I think. I'm gonna shatter some of those Cold One Knights. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. And even with the healing of the Hydras, I think we will still eventually army wipe them, though this battle will take much longer than I had initially thought. A tiny bit unfortunate, but definitely by no means the end of the world. There you go. Big route. Okay. Well, let's go over here now. His army's all spread out across the map. So the way you typically play this is one capture point at a time. You do that and you'll be okay. You get some 6 shots on them Cold One Knights. Very nice. Then I'm going to use the Mercurial shot for these guys. I might even be able to kill his Lord, but I feel like he almost wants her to die to get the Manticore summons back. So we might actually avoid that for the time being. And here we go. Yeah, I just got to shut down this one unit of infantry. We do that, and we are good. And we're already setting up for the Mercurial shots. They will do very well. There we go. Get the ammo restock. There we go. Oh, this could be a good one. Yowza! So painful it triggers his passive. Now that is going to keep them around a little longer. Have to factor that in. But anyways, as long as I can hold on to these, this 1 point here, I think we're good. The Pew Pew's going very hard. His Hydras have heal capped. Which is usually a bad thing, but in this case, it's a sign that they cannot get more value. Alright, here we go. Let's pull these boys back. And what do I got? I still have 1 Mercurial shot left. Wagons will likely have to be desummoned. But at least I have a stupendous number of range units. What is not to love? I think they outrange Dark Shards too, right? 145, 125? Yeah, they do. Huzzah. Alright. Alright, we're getting places. We're getting places. Gets an Amber Spear on an Engineer. That's okay. Not a big deal. Oh, crap. I gotta capture this point sooner rather than later, though. A little slow on that, actually. Okay. I'm gonna have to dodge that volley. There we go. Thankfully, we get a pretty good one. Okay. And we get the capture point. I'll take it. I'll take it. And we got a little bit of a route there. Hell yeah. Alright. It ain't too bad. Value trading is decent. I have great swords and spearmen on the way. This Cold One Knights just got completely and utterly shot up. And then I should be able to countercharge him here with the Graphites. Okay, okay, there we go. Guns are going. They're cooking. I'm just really relying on these great swords to be able to capture things in the late game, though. I think that's what makes or breaks us, right? At least his Dark Riders are dying super hard. We're gonna get 1 Hydra biting the dust very soon. Jeez, what a Close match, though. This is a very close match. I think, yeah, the Endless Waves of Empire men, though, are going to win this. You can see the gunpowder is just really starting to get to him here. Do I have one more Mercurial shot? I don't believe I do, but that's okay. Yeah, and then I'm going to start using the battle wagons. My favorite strat. But essentially you just use them as chariots in the late game. They're also really good for capture weight. We'll see how this goes. Versus the dread witch elves. Imagine being a 1,000-year-old elf and you get run over by a wagon. Trained to kill any man. But this is 2 horses on a cart. Oh boy, there you go. And there's that massive capture weight. Plus the Griffites. Gonna be helping out with that. With a little bit of terror routing. I'd love to see that. So now I can start thinking about the late game. We'll just get that capture point. Thank goodness both engineers are still alive too. They've been providing a hefty amount of ammunition, that's for sure. Very nice. Okay, now I just gotta kill off that last Hydra. It'll take a hot second. But we have the deeps. Yeah, there it goes. Alright. Demigryph Knights definitely gotta get out of here, though. They gotta skedaddle. Wow, I actually routed off the Witch Elves. Crazy. Okay, alright. He's gonna check out another Amber Spear. Engineer takes a bit of deeps, but not the end of the world by this in the slightest. And now I think he's just running out of stuff. The wagons have done their job. They've provided capture weight. They can now retire. They can retire and do more useful things, like become handgunners, I guess. Which is the one time the reinforcement system actually makes sense. Because it's like the dismounting, right? To become Null and Ironsides. I think it checks out. Look at that. War Hydra bites the dust. Honestly, I don't think I played it. Actually, I think I played it decently. I think he actually played it quite well. Considering the circumstances. I thought the Hydras would be way worse, but no. Actually microed very well. On the end of my opponent. I also forgot to use the Mercurial shots. Whoopsie daisies. We're gonna need to kill those Gold One Knights. Okay, so we got some great swords in there. The moment I start re-summoning wagons, I think he's done for. How the Demi Knights doing? They fall. It's a little awkward, actually. This little center area with the Cold One Knights. If it wasn't for the net, I think we'd be in some big trouble. Thankfully, that gave us just a couple more shots. And indeed, the Great Sword cleanup crew. They're here to mop up. And boy, are they getting it done. Guns. Killing it. Very nice. Alright. Then I'm just going to ignore this guy for a little bit. Definitely got to desummon that. Alrighty. So we're going to win on a... What, do we win on a 2-cap? No, we don't. Okay. Well, that's a little terrifying. What a match. What a match. I've been getting nothing but super close matches today. Nothing but extremely close matches. That's a massive volley, though. The crossfire, the kill box for this poor master. The triple cap is on. So he's going to need to take this point back sometime soon if he wants to. If he wants to win this game. But the way this is going, the gunpowder is going to be a little too strong, I think. Barely, though. Absolutely barely. I can't believe the Hydra is still alive, too. Let's just go finish it off. We'll be okay. Ooh, there goes the master. The resummon of the wagons, man. What a menace. And yeah, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. I can start using these guys as chariots. We leave fire at will on, of course. I wonder how did these Hydras do? Oh yeah, like no value. They just soaked up bullets like no one's business. And the breath attack. Wow, the fadeaway breath attack. Got back some of the value. I do win on a 1-cap now, though, at least. Or on a 2-cap. So, I think that basically spells doom for my opponent. But surprisingly enough, they got it super close. I would say very well played. Very well played. I'm calling it now. I'd be very surprised if he manages to come back here. Just never say never. He has a cold one night. Empire just never feels comfortable. It's always close. They're, sometimes you just don't really have the strongest win conditions. And at times, their builds can be quite predictable. How do these guys do versus Cold One Knights? Surprisingly well. Look at that. Their stats actually, holding up. What's their mass? 120. Oh, that explains it. Anyways, we do absolutely win on a 1-cap now. Honestly, I really don't like the Outriders. I know some people chevron them to increase their damage. But I feel like the War Wagons are just so much better. The Outriders are literally just there in case he brings in a bunch of silly dudes. In case he brings in a bunch of Scourge Runner chariots. But that is not what we saw. Look how inaccurate they are. Jeez. I can see why people recommend you chevron them. I'm actually losing a lot of damage to that, sadly. Alright, let's just keep pulling back. At this point, though, it is absolutely over. I have my engineer back. And with the engineer coming back, you know what that means. 3 more mercurial shots. There's not a lot that can survive that, man. Mercurial shot is destroyer of worlds, ain't it? So I'll just get into position, get the flank off, and then we'll be good. Use 2 out of 6 breath attacks. Yeah, he didn't manage to make much use out of it, sadly. And what a whiff! What a mega whiff! Engineer has never whiffed harder in his entire life. Wow, that was bad. That was very bad. All right. Engineer just absolutely botched it. Did not understand the assignment. Range units in this game, man. Sometimes they crazy. Let's see what I have money for. Just another Outrider? Sure. He's committed his skirmishers, which basically dooms him to a low DPS game for the next long while. And he can't disengage because then he'll get shot. So as long as I hold on to this point, I think we're good. Yeah, and we are stealing this one on the far side. Just in case it comes down to a 1-cap situation, I might as well summon some infantry there. It's typically not a great play if there's something else you can bring in. But in this case, there actually isn't that much. I'm just going to run over his infantry with the power of wagons. He should not be able to secure this point. Not with 2 spear units incoming. And the middle one, neither. So not bad. If I win the next game, I think we manage to qualify for top 4. Chevroning would help. Yeah, chevroning helps. You can actually just put on a couple chevrons and it will vastly increase their accuracy. Whew, all right. It's a win. It's a win. It's going to launch me into the stratosphere in terms of MMR. If I can just win the next one, we're set. You can see the wagons did amazing. The Outriders still did good, though. They just have to shoot at other stuff. The Hydras did not technically get value, but they did tank a lot of shots, which made his army much tankier than I thought it would be. You really got to focus fire them, try to get them to rout and all that. But yeah, I think he... Honestly, his army was much better suited against mine than I thought it would be. Much, much better than I thought it would be. Alright, so we have our next opponent. Yo, yo! Yeah, I think his magic is also lacking a little bit. I think if he took Doombolt, he would have been better off. He had the same build in the Turin video, and also didn't use breath attacks, and had almost no cavalry. Yeah, that's kind of the game plan, right? Like, I think against a lesser player, trying to kite him, it would actually be quite difficult. But I think once you hit a certain tipping point, like, you can just get the win. Opinion on the new balance changes? I think it's very mild. I do hope that they can get a bit more in or more regular updates, but I'm happy with the direction it's going. Some bug fixes, some quality of life. But like, we still have a lot of bugs. So, we shall see. Anyways, I have my opponent. Empire. And we're on Dunes of Cain. But yeah, I think it's fine though. I think it would be really cool to see more Dakala instead of the mask all the time. Alright, let's get the blocker up. Clearly mask is terrible now. Yeah. Yeah, I will say, mask is probably still insanely strong. But weirdly she wasn't banned. So, look, a 100 gold nerf to all Slanesh builds is still decent. And we're, you know, it's kind of strange. Some people don't even run the mask all the time. Like, everyone talks about her being OP. But, like, no one actually spams them, you know? I've seen Sigvald recently. I've seen just a normal, like, Mortal Lord. I don't know if it's because they're just so worried about Spirit Leech or what. Sometimes banned. Yeah, mask is sometimes banned, but in most actual tournaments, not banned. Sorry, what I mean by actual tournaments, I mean like following tournament formats that Turin usually goes for, like the bigger prize pools. You know, it's yeah, usually not banned, usually not super abused. Honestly, I don't even think people are playing Slanesh like in a super scary manner. But I guess the fact that any old schmo can pick up Slanesh and do really well is a sign that they are still a very strong faction. You never thought... you could never get over how you could have units that are supposed to be... We have shield. We are the shield. Let's see here. Basically, fantasy of taking arrows and chugging them off. And the best counterplay to those units is to just shoot them more. Well, like, let's see here. I think it would be cool if some elite infantry had gold shields in multiplayer. I think that'd be sick. Let's play versus Norska. Empire versus Norska on Dunes of Cain. Hell yeah. Yeah, I would say, definitely. Some of the more expensive units need to have better shields. Like, I think Chosen should be... They should have like 85% missile resist, right? Like, imagine, right? Basically being blessed by the gods themselves. And like a teeny tiny little lead ball. It's not even modern. It's not armor piercing, right? It's not made out of depleted uranium. Although then again, maybe the Skaven snipers can have that. But realistically, it's just a tiny little thing, right? Like, in actual history, they had armor that would deflect bullets, like musket balls. So you would think a Chosen carrying like 3 inches thick of metal would be able to shrug it. Kind of like the steam tank. But anyways, that would shift balance dramatically. Maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way. But anyways, what am I doing versus Norska? I have an idea. I have the vaguest idea of how I generally want to do this. But Norska can be scary. Oh, they can be awfully scary. You have to be a little careful. Let's go ahead and take some of this. Okay. Alrighty. Actually, yeah, I think this kind of just shreds Norska. Why am I even worried? This should be pretty good. I think there's a few things you can do that would be kind of scary here, but realistically speaking, this shreds Norska pretty bad. Although... Okay, sure, I can do that. We can do this. And then what? Yeah. Honestly, I kind of like the great swords in the late game there. They're really good at just holding. So in that match, we kind of just used the great swords to clean up all the infantry going on to the points. Now, typically I would take cavalry, but Empire Cav kind of sucks. Bullets are just magic missiles for everyone. More bullet. Yo, with range units operating a bit smarter in the next patch, though, you think I can bring back Gun Coast? The dreaded Gun Coast intensity? I think the possibilities are high. If all range units are getting a buff next patch, which we might be able to assume that's what happens. Because generally when CA buffs things, they don't do it super carefully. Just look at what happened to cavalry, right? They just buffed all cavalry maneuverability and speed across the board and decreased infantry's ability to use their mass to shut them down. And now we're in a cavalry meta. If they're doing the same thing with ranged, I think potentially there could be a few issues. I didn't see no price increases or anything. What if like Iron Hail? What if shotgun units are better, man? Iron Hail gunner spam? It could be very scary if they just kind of immediately pivot and shoot, kind of like Warhammer 2. It's assuming the patch actually works and doesn't break something else. Well, if it breaks something else, it doesn't change the fact that range units are probably going to be very strong. They're going to start shooting in melee when I order them to. Yo, range units, if they could shoot in melee consistently, that would actually make them really good at melee. Though, it'd be like an even trade. I'm personally very excited about Null and Ironsides. The potential is high. Hand cannons forever. Dude, oh, it's going to be so hype. Give every unit 360 shooting arcs, except for artillery. That would actually improve the responsiveness a lot, and it would break the game so hard. Range units would be by far the most meta thing ever. That's why Weight Watchers are so good right now, because it got that 360. But anyways, we're just here finishing our match. So Charks just started too. We are in top 5. So if I win this, we're in the cookie jar. All I got to do is win. Free company militia galore if that happened. They don't have AP though. They're not that great. Though they are good. Like all range units. Like if the unit that will benefit a lot from 360 fire, Giselles, warp fire throwers, globadiers. Have you ever tried catching globadiers before with infantry? Now imagine they're chucking their globes at you while they run. Which honestly, I don't see why they can't. Why can't they just chuck it behind them? But yeah, absolutely. That's going to shred. It's going to shred, man. Skaven might actually be buffed because of this. Because some of their range units are really dependent on getting that one volley off. Ratlings with 360 shooting. Rattling kite. Oh, please, please. By the way, that was a mod, by the way, where you have the worst RNG challenge mod, where all your units have the worst RNG. So they literally shoot in a random direction. I don't know how that would pan out, but it could be funny. Oh yeah, that's true. 360 doesn't mean you have shoot while moving. Wow. It like always comes with it, but it might not. Still though, one attack command is all you need to get the shot off, so it's effectively shoot while moving, but you're right. That does slightly nerf it. What, you hate Skaven? Come on, man, I thought you guys liked underdogs. Iron Drakes, yep. Yeah, dwarves will actually love the ranged buffs a lot. Like, any faction that uses a lot of ranged units will obviously love ranged buffs. Who would have guessed? But the impact of these buffs could be crazy. Because the difference between your infantry taking 6 seconds to turn and shoot to 4 seconds to turn and shoot is the difference between you actually getting the shot off or getting charged. And when each volley does about 1,500 damage, yeah, that's gonna stack up very quickly over the course of a battle. I think the potential is insane. I would be very surprised if we don't see a huge resurgence of ranged units. Especially gunpowder, who can have a hard time getting a line of sight and stuff. Though they didn't say they fixed line of sight, which is very disappointing. Who hates the funny malevolent rats? Oh my gosh, so much Skaven hate. You guys beg me to play them all the time. Anyways, here's the build. So, obviously we're gonna kite. Ready, good luck, have fun. Not gonna go for a greatsword build here, because... well, maybe I'll try it later. But I want to see how kite does versus Norska nowadays. I do still have 3 greatswords though, in case we see a Bearman late game. If he has literally only Bearman and I gotta clean them up, yeah, the greatswords are gonna get the job done. Plus the grenade launchers, that should be enough infantry clear. These guys are just here to kill everything expensive. Oh, you're a dwarf main? Oh yeah, dwarves hated Skaven back in the day. Though, the Gyro Max build would sometimes catch them off guard. Spamming a full squadron of gyrocopters. Hilarious counter. But alrighty. What's this guy gonna do? Can't he just increase the angle of gunpowder by like 5 degrees? And it would improve in immensely. Like you're talking about like the angle that they can shoot. Yeah. Like anytime a unit has to pivot, you lose like about 5 seconds of firing time. Every 10 seconds you get 1,500 damage. So that's like a free spirit leech. You know, gone. Gone for nothing. Is that a Fimir Bale Fiend? We got some Marauders. We got a Wolfric. We got some Fimir Warriors. Nothing too crazy. This build is basically begging me to bring this guy in. I think it's very likely we see a Dreadmaw here. 5, 4, 5, 11, 13. Something's hidden. Something's hidden away. There's still one thing that's hidden, right? 3, 5, 4, 5. No, that's everything. The guy doesn't have a Dreadmaw. Alright, well, if I lose this, I'm a noob. We basically got the dream scenario, right? I get my full kite. I have double engineer with all the ammunition one could possibly hope for. These guys have 50% spell resist, so I'll just dump twice the number of bullets on their face. And then we'll call it a day. I think that's, yeah, I think that's fairly simple. So let's go ahead and position like so. Gonna need some sick mercurial shots though. I think this one should suffice. Pretty good. About 200 gold worth of value over there. There's the Bearman. Trying to move on to the point. Trying to secure anything. But the pain is real. Pain is very real. Wolfric is dying. Wolfric's just getting plonked at by the engineers. Lots of deeps. Lots of deeps. It's okay if I give up a point, by the way. We can very easily give up a point here. He's gonna get a Malkoth, not a big deal. Yeah. And then we can just go for this fight. He has a lot of ice doggos, but I got a lot of boys. We got our grenades, of course. They're chilling. And it's all about that value play. Just farm value off your opponent and you're good. See, we've managed to pull him back over there and even get a few grenade launcher shots on him on the way out. Love to see that. He gets a boat, whiffs it, biffs it. And I'm just going to mag dump them here. Because at the end of the day, I have infinite ammunition. So this is the problem when you go for Norska. It's the problem when you go for Norska. And then you don't get ready for the kite. It's going to be painful. He's just going for the basic Bearman Swarm. But I've played this build a million times, right? We know how this goes. Whoops, a little bit of a misplay. I was trying to line up the Mercurial Shot. Kind of got charged there. At some point, I think he's going to try and make one big final push. So I'm just going to preemptively pull back here into a safer position. He's brought some Kurgans, that's fine. But yeah, as long as I just pull into a very safe position here and never get caught, it's basically over. It's basically over. Ain't no way the Kurgans will be able to do much here. Grenade launchers, they don't lose entities when the Melkoths hits. So they still get to keep the maximum damage output. Very painful. Very painful indeed. There's another ammunition buff over there. And then he's going to summon some missile resist dogs. They have 50% missile resist. Not a problem. Not a problem in the slightest. Kurgans will actually make it out alive though. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, cavalry really shred those dogs. You can just face charge them. This is because of the impact changes that CA implemented a while ago. That really puts them in a rough position. Grenade launchers just deleted those poor guys. He does get the Kurgan charge, but my injured knight unit just hyper traded versus boys, so I think we're still very happy about that situation. And as long as I have 1 point, you can see he's not getting ahead on tickets, that's for sure. Definitely, definitely not. Ooh, is this going to be a crazy Mercurial Shot? That's going to shut down his ranged, which is really his pride and joy right now. He needs all that ranged. Or all the mobility, my bad. Yeah, to jump my stuff. So if they die here, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, I'd say. Yeah, he's losing way too much range now. So basically now he's stuck in a late game situation where the only out he has to play for is stalling me. So as long as I can just kill his army fast enough, we've won. And based on the direction that it's going, as you can see in the top left, I think we are absolutely going to be hitting those goals. Big routes. The dreaded 8 kite Empire, man. Alright, and now that everything's so softened up, now we bring in the great swords. Might seem a little excessive. Holy crap, glass cannons. Jeez, those Kurgans do not like grenade launchers. But yeah, as long as I have these great swords in now, they'll be able to kill the Bearmen. And I think that just closes it out. Can you imagine the pain he's feeling right now playing this game? Yeah, this is pretty painful. I'll give you that. There's another Mercurial Shot. That's about 300 gold right there. Slightly under, technically. Slightly under, my bad. 250 gold. Oh no! Oh no, not the 250. Yeah, I can just take my time, right? The whole point of this is you're killing your opponent and feeling good while you do it. It's not about getting hasty. You get hasty, you potentially put yourself in a bad situation and then game over, right? Just make sure I never ever lose the cat fight. Finish off all those poor guys over there. I still have infinity time. If I capture this at 1,200 tickets, I still have 5 minutes to kill his army. That is the extreme that we have time right now. And I am going to milk it for all it's worth because it's good habit building. Mercurial Shot so busted. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that it's not seen as a bigger issue. I'm sure it's just because Empire is weak. But if Empire was strong, people would be complaining about like Scab Scrath, you know? Also, this is free now. I might as well take it. Now that it is literally no risk to me because I have Marcus's net. So even if he summons a bunch of dogs and starts rushing me down, we're still good. Here they come. Bunch of dogs. Then, oh, what do you know? That's awkward. Now you gotta get shot at by grenades for the next couple minutes. And the dogs are dead. The dogs are super dead. We got great swords coming all over the place. Now these guys technically do complete the charge, but I think they're gonna rout in like 2 seconds. This is why the Marcus net is so good. I'm not even gonna let him take this fight. You know what? Screw your value gained. I'm just gonna chill. I have about 50 years. I think I have about 10 minutes to end this game before I think I win on tickets. In fact, yes, we do win on tickets. So that's pretty good for us. Now the Kurgan spam will be a little nasty. They are fast, dangerous. But with the Femur gone and Wolfric super low, I think we can go for the final Executioner play. So that's just getting as close as possible so that you can get line of sight. This is exactly what you do in campaign. Then you pull away the infantry. And then you enjoy the death by firing line that ensues. So as long as I do this right, then he should just die. Oh, don't disengage. Oh, man. I friendly fired my greatswords up. But, yeah, Wolfric disengaged. Biggest mistake you can make. This game, the line of sight is terrible. But the moment you're in an open field, it's over, man. Yeah, Norsa absolutely got super hard counter build, right? I think that's a guarantee. I don't know if you can take a safe build against this, though. Like, you kind of have to go for the full rush. And, like, going for full mobility. Is that enough to beat a normal Empire build? Maybe. So maybe you always go full mobility? But I don't think it's an easy choice to make. Because, like, a standard Empire wall of infantry and greatswords is pretty nasty. But yeah, Wagons got 1,000,000 value. Engineers got 1,000,000 value. They all paid for themselves and were ready for the D-summon. Grenade launchers did great. And then we just out-mobility them, right? Nothing really to speak of. The Femur are good, but not super great versus the armor-piercing bullets. So that works out pretty well for us. That's going to put us in a top 4 position. We barely made it. We barely made it. 4 wins, 2 losses. Ooh, eyes are dry after that one. So now we're waiting on Charix and B6. All right. Charix, let me know when done. Soul Grinders. New Defilers on Warcom. Never heard of it. All I'm saying is if Norska had flying elephants, they'd have done better. Oh boy. Honestly, if he just spammed Ice Wolves, it'd be fine. Great Sword Starving. Yeah, I kind of didn't really give them much. They were kind of meant for a late game that didn't come. They were looking for a closer match. But yeah, the idea here was if he rushed me, because I still have the cavalry and the Marcus net, I think we can survive a rush. But he would get a triple cap. And it's just how quickly I can clear his army. When you go for full infantry, though, you're just screwed. Great swords were set dressing. I'll get him in. People always complain that Empire needs more new stuff. As if they aren't the most updated faction in the game. Let's see here. I wouldn't say the most up-to-date faction. There's a few parts that make them feel a little old school. I think the thing that makes them feel the worst is they don't have high DPS infantry. They can't push points really well, except for greatswords, kind of, but not really. Their cavalry is actually just slightly worse than most cavalry in the game. Empire Knights could probably be 50 gold cheaper. Hell, they could be 100 gold cheaper, and then they would start matching up with other cav. But like, look at the Loyal Empire Knight versus the Chad Knights Errant. Knights Errant. Technically, they're a little squishier, right? Minus 30 armor. What do you get for that? Plus 6 speed. Plus 2 melee attack. 7 charge bonus. Impetuous, which is an ITP aura. 1 charging, which is a great time. Lance formation. And they also get plus leadership. Oh, wait, no. Oh, they don't lose leadership when peasants are out near them. The biggest thing is the speed, though. Oh, yeah, and they're 150 gold cheaper. Honestly, if an Empire Knight cost 700 gold, I would still take the Knights Errant. I would still do that. You look at the Beastmen roster. I guess Centaurs are 800, but they are really good. But that's the thing about Empire, though, right? They got a lot of combined arms. They're not amazing in any category except for war wagons, but they're pretty good everywhere else. Yeah, jack of all trades, exactly. The thing about domination, though, is usually you take one unit and you spam it as much as possible. Can't really do that with Empire. Look at the Royal Altar of Griffites, too. Like, they get thumped by a lot of stuff. They're not, you know, like, even if you compare them to the High Elves. Let me see this. I think, same price, Fireborn. Plus 9 speed. I really think the speed of the cavalry is what's letting Empire down. Because it also makes your charges weaker. They technically have a little bit more weapon strength. The bonus versus large is slightly higher. But the speed, how are you supposed to micro? Minus 9 speed, brutal. Minus 20 charge bonus, crazy. Alright, but anyways, they are done. So I'm the only person that made it to top 4 with a declared faction. That's pretty funny. At Charix versus at Martin. At Maximilianer versus at Anticity. And let me pull up the maps for the players. I might be able to get Vengeance, people. I might be able to get Vengeance on my opponent. That's pretty nice. Alright, so Maximilianer. Maxi. We're on Arachnarock Lair, okay. And the idea is I want to face his vampire counts again. Yo. Wanna... Actually, I'll just let him give me his 3 factions. I would love to try his vampire counts again, though. I think we can take him. Maybe not with great swords. It turns out the ghosts were just the perfect counter. But, yeah, I want to see what he does here. I think 4 wagons, honestly, just puts some in the dumps. Rotting Riders lose to Demi-Knights? The thing about these 1v1 trades, by the way, they're not super reliable because so many other factors come into play. Practically speaking, Altar of Griffites are not amazing. They're not super amazing. It's really expensive. The roster doesn't have a ton of healing. I'll play versus vampire counts then. Alright, rematch time. Okay, so what if he goes the same build? What if he does the same thing to my face? He's shown his counter build. And now he will suffer the consequences. Flaming sword. I might have to. I may very well need to, even if I do not want to. Let's see, what's he gonna do? He's gonna try sniping Gelt again. He's gonna get Gelt dead. That would be most unfortunate. Actually, this is kind of an insane play. Hole up, man. Hole up. Dang. Alright. Never mind, we're set. We're set. Hopefully this does not just immediately lose me the game. Because it feels like this should be good. But you never know. Maybe take something crazy here. How can I spend 50 more gold? I guess I can do this. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a pretty decent build versus Maximilian here. He really does like the Vargeists. I think that's kind of the biggest thing that I'll have to keep an eye out for. Free Company Militia are a little awkward here too. The map is not exactly perfect for them. And yeah, like even a lot of skirmishers will have a hard time on this map. I think I have everything I need though. Yeah, let's take a little bit of this. And then, do I still need Empire Knights in general? They are good versus Crypt Ghouls. They can get a lot of work done. I think I just have to keep my archers consolidated. And then we're probably fine. Do I need Flagellants though? I feel like they're so susceptible to Scab Scrath. Maybe you just want to take some like units that can just never be Scab Scrathed. Sure, let's try it out. I'm just gonna go on a whim. We'll see if Maximilianer has the tools to win this. He is a top Vampire Counts player in the entire world. But the idea is that they have their weaknesses. If you play well enough, you can exploit them. Just brings Mass Cav. Mass Cav can always be a little scary. The good thing for us, though, is that Vampire Counts, their cavalry is not that fast. The Lances are not super fast. The Blood Knights are, what, like 75 speed? So, like, roughly Empire speed, I think. Maybe only slightly faster. And I've brought the true winner here. The chicken dinner. Redeem the stretch. Thank you. Haven't stretched all day. Oh. I brought the war wagons. Screw the other skirmishers, man. War wagons for life. We have a bigger army than them. That's good. And this time I have Elspeth. So what does Elspeth bring to the table here, right? Why in the world do I have her? Well, she can Spirit Leech Manfred, which is pretty funny. But much more importantly, you can see this lady. Also, I put her on foot. She has healing and she has magic buffing. So in a pinch, I can buff up my cavalry and actually kill some ghosts. With the power of aspect of the Dread Knight, it's pretty nice. Pretty good luck, have fun. Now Maximilianer is so good, he might actually be able to win this anyways. But at least if he brings in Hex Wraiths, I have something to deal with them. And then if he goes fairly elite like last time, then I got my wagons. That's a plan. Alright, and we're all caught up with chat. Oh, crap, you're ready. It's the same build! Alright, so this is fairly simple. Control the center. And just out-trade him, because he's not playing a stuffing strategy. It's not a stuffing strategy. So I think I only need one cav at most. But honestly here, we're just going to shoot him with these guys. And just make sure my formation's real tight. Just absolutely unbreakable. And the ghosts don't have a lot of armor, so we just spam these boys. We're good. You can see his Karen rates are already running. Now he has crypt ghouls here. I can cut them off potentially and get some free kills perhaps. Let's park our spears in here. Can we stall the capture? The answer is no, but that's okay, because this should be relatively free at least. And I'm gonna play super defensive because last time I left my flanks a little too open, and that put me into a bad position. We don't want that happening again. We keep spamming these guys out. You can see the fear in him, right? He doesn't want any of this smoke. And hopefully we can get some picks. A little bit more damage on the crypt ghouls. This is a very expensive army, so he doesn't want to be, really doesn't want to be taking this damage. Big ol' fat charge on the crypt ghouls. Quarter HP gone. Very nice. And here come the hex wraiths. Very, very nice. So in theory, if I summon Empire Knights, we'll be all right with the aspect of the Dread Knight. We'll see. We'll see. Gotta run to my spears over here. So let's get our Empire Knights. I was a little slow on the call with them. We might take a bit of damage on one of our wagons because of that. We're just gonna keep giving them move commands though. Cavalry have a hard time actually landing hits when you keep on moving. If they ever stop you, that's when the damage comes in. Oh crap, I forgot to turn on fire at will. No wonder I wasn't doing damage. That's a big misplay. I could have done so much more damage to these guys. And instead, he's going to get a bit of a terror route into a full route here. Not pretty. Already minor misplay there. So that's gonna hurt. I will maybe kill this Hex Wraith though. And if I do, then it's actually still not the worst. Even if I get a decent amount of damage, it's actually not too bad. That's what we're gonna try and do. Gonna Spirit Leech Manny. Gonna bring in our archers to bear. Gonna get another Empire Knight over here. You can see he does not like the damage he's taken. But line of sight is a different issue. Now I do have a double cap. He gets a double scab scrath, nothing too bad. Manny's in there. But can he keep the White Kings alive? I guess we'll see. We'll have another aspect of the Dread Knight very soon. Damage is not bad. The question is, do I resummon a wagon? Don't know if I do, honestly. His White Kings are really getting worked on, though. I don't know if he likes that. Let's just keep reforming our ranks. And this is a value trading game. It's very easy to feel like, you know, this is a normal vampire counts game, but absolutely, this is a pure value trading fiesta. And you can see the damage is all right. Losing the wagon, though, unnecessarily, or not getting the free damage by turning Fire at Will back on, was definitely a big misplay, though. The question is, where am I using my magic? I could overcast a Spirit Leech on Manny. He can't afford to lose him. This guy's super expensive. He's gonna get a big ol' invocation of Nahek off. With the Spirit Leech, it hurts. We're gonna get a little bit of a volley off, a little bit of free damage. Very nice. Manny taking some heat. And he still hasn't pushed into my position. Just gonna make sure it's very well formed here. And then I'm gonna start spamming more spears because obviously these guys are a little bit of a menace, right? It's a lot of Karen Wraiths. Alright, here we go. So I just gotta make sure I don't overextend is all. As you can see, they are starting to push in. I want to take the fight outside of the trees if at all possible. I'm just gonna barely stay on this point to hopefully get him into a bad position. Now what's he gonna summon here, right? I think he wants to summon something. We're not gonna get out of position. We're just gonna let the wagons cook. Just let them cook. In the meantime, we're gonna start focus firing the Karen Wraiths. And the left flank, we're mostly just gonna leave on its own, to its own devices. Free Company will back up my boys. Very nice. Okay, and then maybe I can get a sick charge here. Oh, crap. Didn't catch the Black Knights. Oh, misplays. Not the best plays. Okay, let's focus here. Let's get the aspect of the Dread Knight going. Very nice. Okay, and then we're gonna get some cavalry in here against them. Let's see, we're gonna have to sacrifice a cav here. That's okay. Honestly, this is not the best played, though. I kind of botched that initial advance, and we are paying dearly for it right now. That's a Winds of Death. Run away. We're gonna dodge it. Mostly. Still kills a lot of dudes, though. Oof. Oof. He's doing well, man. He's doing well. I think I might have botched that initial advance. Ouch. Dude, that Winds of Death hurt so much. Massive damage. Maybe I can damage Manfred enough, though. Kind of like last time. But this is definitely a bad situation to be in. Very bad situation. Well, at least we're going to get some aspect of the Dread Knight over here. You get a little bit of damage. We're going to run with our little support squad team over here. But I think I kind of just botched that fight. We'll see, though. We'll see. Maybe I can get enough wagons here. I do have a lot of time on my hands. And we can definitely get this into a late game where potentially we just Spirit Leech Manny to death. Maybe make him burn his magic on useless stuff. Oh, we'll see, though. We'll see. Oh, man, dude. I kind of botched it, though. I kind of botched it. Let's see if I can keep my sleds alive, though. I think if we can keep the sleds alive, I might still have a chance. Manfred is getting quite low. Elspeth is on the run, but she should be able to live. Let's get another aspect of the Dread Knight there. Get the devastating charges on his boys. Wagons is still alive, too. Manny is actually taking a lot of damage, so that's good to see. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. I still think we're behind, though. Because he's been getting heals and all of that. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Manny is healing now, too. And healing quite aggressively. Here come the Hex Wraiths. Can we get a sick charge on him? No. Good micro from my opponent. Right flank has collapsed entirely. He's just gonna summon a Crypt Ghoul there. He already has a Crypt Ghoul there. No, a zombie. Alright. Unfortunate. I'm gonna try and get a Spirit Leech, though, maybe? Ugh, bro. I think I just botched the wagon kite, though. If I was just a little smarter with it, I think we could have had a better chance. But the Karen Wraiths win again. Surprising, actually. Very surprising. Though, I don't know. Well, wait. How much damage are we getting on Manny here? Is he going to die? It'd be pretty funny if I managed to kill him. Oh, he's microing, though. He's not making the same misplay as last time. Manny ain't dying. And I am down a lot of value now. We are down a dramatic amount of value. An unfortunate amount of value. I think our magic damage was not enough. The Karen Wraiths were actually super painful, surprisingly enough. I did not think they would be this bad, but really the roster not having that magic damage is really being felt right now. Can we pull back to safety, though? Maybe to the safety of these spears? Run! Run, you darn wagons! Oh, here comes the Elspeth snipe. He knows what's up. He sees it. And he's taking the opportunity. Oh, man. Yeah, map wasn't super great, but I think this could have been won just by mitigating misplays. We had a lot of big misplays that I think put me in the dumps here. The Karen Wraiths are also just in general a really good addition to the build. The only way I can see myself killing them is... Where'd Manny go? I think he's hiding. I think the only way we actually beat this is by going for Flagellants. Like, that's how you beat the Karen Wraiths. But if I go for Flagellants, then you know what happens, right? He's just going to scab scrat them. So I think his build is actually really tight versus the Empire. A little bit of a new style, perhaps. I don't know. But yeah, these guys are real painful. Now, Elspeth might be able to still pull it out, though. She might be able to live. We got a few crumbles here or there, but I'm running out of time now on the ticket front. So I think even if I do kill this, we're dead. Honestly, one more war wagon could have gotten so much work done. Alternatively, we just run Burning Head. But you know me. I don't want to just run Burning Head. We want to experiment a little bit. Buna. Buna's pretty good versus Karen Raids, yeah. Aspect of the Dread Knight didn't do that much. I guess if I cast it on his Hex Raids, that would have been the true counter. GG, well played, though. GG, well played. Maximilianer takes the win. Dang. We were not able to figure it out. He stuck to his guns, and he got the victory. Mass Karen Raids. Wild. Manfred got only the 1 Winds of Death, but the main thing he was doing was healing like a mad lad. But honestly, I made a lot of misplays. I think if I didn't get so caught by these guys, we would have been in a much better spot. I could have just sat back and relaxed a little longer. But these guys got way too much value. Holy crap, yeah. A Lore of Lightcaster? Dang, that's actually really smart. Okay, could you make a new lobby and add spec slot, please? All right. Alrighty. Yeah, I think I'll just make a new army. I think the Lore of Light passive is actually insane. Like, where's it at? Where's it at? Yeah, so you're saying you take the Lore of Light, and you just get army-wide magic attacks, and you just spam Shems. Shems is super good. You can take this guy on Pegasus, and he forces the vampire counts to have to attack. Then you still go for the same thing, just a million wagons. But Lord-wise, you know, Volkmar used to be super popular. Could we see a return of the Volkmar? Let's see here. He's not bad. He does have the healing. He does have, yeah, big old leadership buff. Obviously, it makes the build much more expensive, though. But I think if you just straight up do this, you're already in, yeah, you're already in a much better position. You hate vampire counts? Eh. I think Maximilianer played better than me. I don't think it was the faction. Like, obviously, the way you lose to vampire counts is going to feel bad because it's a DPS check. But, like, it's a skill issue, right? It's literally just a skill issue. Like, I don't know. If I just played better, we would have won. Even with the incorrect build. So Flagellants would have lost me though because of the Scabscrath. Yeah. Alright, what's this? What is this? I'm getting so many messages. Alrighty. Yeah, just managing some admin stuff. Let's check this message. Alright. And then... yeah, my goodness. Come on, man. Oh my goodness. Did they not start the other semis? If they didn't start, that's just a tragedy. That's a tragedy and a half. Let me see. Let me see. Yo, we might see Charix versus Maximilianaire though. That's very fun. But yeah, I think Volkmar just like immediately deletes all those Sirens. Honestly, I wanted to see if my build could still work. But you really do just need to bring in that magic. Okay, so it looks like they just started, so that's okay. Okay, never mind. Looks like they managed. Alright, so now we wait. So they should be done in like 15 minutes. Get a drink. For the finals are coming. Maybe a witch hunter? Nah, Volkmar is more than enough. Volkmar thumps Sirens like no one's business. It's just been, he's been so out of the meta for so long that I forgot about him. What's this? For vampire counts, with other faction, even a loss can be fun to watch, but it never feels that way with vampire counts. So personally, I have a really good time watching vampire counts. I think it's because people don't really understand how they work. So they don't understand the game, right? Imagine you're watching like, I don't know, like you're watching someone play pool, right? Watching billiards, but you don't know how the rules work, right? It's just like, why isn't they're just knocking random balls into random holes? What's going on, right? They didn't start yet? Yeah, you should give it like 15 minutes Maximilianaire. There was some weird confusion. But they just started their battle. Anyways, yeah, the thing about vampire counts is if you don't understand what game is being played, you can't appreciate the plays. So you're just watching units walk into each other. And then, of course, it's going to be boring. So I can tell you, the way Vampire Counts works, not that game, by the way. That game was just, he just played a melee army, and then I didn't react properly to it. But a lot of the times, they're really high in tankiness, and you need to bring in enough DPS to clear their stuff out to capture the points. That's generally what a lot of Vampire Counts players will look like. So, a lot of what they're doing is they're trying to mitigate your damage as much as possible. And the counterplay to that is how you win, right? So the moment you start getting damage, then you're in a winning position. And that kind of dance is where you actually get the game in, because you can take more damage that are more susceptible to getting shut down, or you can take less damage and maybe they win on tickets. Vampire Counts are your second favorite to watch, first being Empire? Dang, must have been a fun match then. But yeah, they don't really have like the big flashy units though, because they're a Warhammer 1 faction. So you don't get like the cool animations, there's nothing like to zoom in on. But like realistically, if you just compare them to Khorne, it's actually quite similar. Yeah, you can also like, yeah. I think like, well, so Vampire Counts as a toss-up. Some matchups, like if you can get the Lord, it's good. In that case, though, you had Manfred on lock, though, so I wasn't going to kill him. I wouldn't say that was like a Lord's Knight build, if that's what you mean, but I think you're just talking generally. But yeah, Vampire Counts crumbling is not super important. Not at all. Not at all. But yeah, there's a lot going on. It's just going to be slightly slower paced. It's more of a strategic battle. Although in that case, Maximilianaire just out-microed me. He caught my wagons. He caught my darn wagons. Twice even. They had so much potential. It's like watching a very slow rush faction with no ranged. So like corn armor spam then. It's very similar actually. They just do it slightly better and they're not as good at killing in melee. I guess that does change the dynamic a little bit. Though with the Karen Wraiths, it's pretty good. Karen Wraiths actually did a lot of damage. Huntsman General gets an AoE fire imbuement. Yes, but the bigger issue is making plays on his units. The Huntsman General just makes the play stronger, but he doesn't make the play. But yeah, I think it would be kind of weird though if vampire counts didn't feel like watching an undead army shambling. But I understand if people don't like it though. It is a game of preferences indeed, ain't it? Karen Wraiths are the most underrated unit. I would say I do wonder if we got to rematch in the future, how things would play out. Because I didn't go for like the full anti-magic, but if I do and I start losing to your other builds, then it means that we actually have a game. If let's say Volkmar is just like super good in both builds, then it's a bit of a problem, but I'm assuming that double White King Manfred kills Volkmar. And then that's what makes it a little sketchy, right? I'm pretty sure the build has enough teeth everywhere where you have match. But yeah, interesting to see them come back. It's not like they got buffed, right? I remember not too long ago you were really bashing on the Hex race and the Karen race. Or did they get fixed? Or was it just like a meta shift where people were just like way over tuning for Mantide counts? You also find vampire counts to be boring. You got walking corpse, they do. Skeletons with armor, armored skeletons on horses, some ghosts. Corpses with clubs, alright, I guess. That's ghouls and vampires. Yeah, and you miss the entire monstrous roster, only adding zombie bats and dogs, right? So you got like monstrous, like calling Vargeists zombie bats is like calling minotaurs goats, you know? A minotaur is no Ungor. Vampire counts have a lot of stuff. A lot of monstrous stuff. It's just none of it is super meta. But sometimes you see a Terrorgeist out of Maximillionaire every once in a while. They also have some really cool hero core stuff. Hero shenanigans, leadership bomb strategies. That's a little bit less common. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of like melee stuff, but you know. You got 3 different tiers of bats. 3 different sizes. Technically 4 if you count the goose. And then, let's see here. I guess that's most of it though, right? Well, corpse carts are kind of interesting too, right? Like, corpse carts are like Bretonnia Grail Relique. So if I told you to list out all of Bretonnia's cool units, would you really not include the Grail Relique? I think you would. And the different flavors of corpse carts are kind of cool. As a unit too, there's not a lot of units that are quite like it. It really is just a Grail Relique and corpse carts did it first. Just got an ad about vampires booking hotels. Oh my goodness. Dedicated ads. Coolest units tend not to be very good, hence why people always get hyped when they see them. Example being Hellpit Abomination. I guess the coolest vampire counts units are no Hellpit Abomination, are they, right? No one sees a Vargulf and they're like, hell yeah, I love the Vargulf so much. Stylistically, it speaks to me the most out of everything else. Not really, right? You find Khorne thematically fun, but vampire counts boring. The damage difference in their infantry makes a big difference. So like vampire counts, yeah, they'll just sit and grind. Blood Knights, that is true. Lumping Blood Knights in with all the other cavalry is like saying Grail Knights. It's like all you got are Bretonnian infantry and mounted Bretonians. And you're just lumping in Knights Errant with Grail Knights. That would be crazy. Blood Knights are pretty cool, man. I will say Blood Knights are pretty cool. You got the vampire cavalry unit. Now, are they amazing? Are they good? No, maybe there's better cavalry, but you can't say they're not a unit. And that is a unit that people do generally enjoy. You know, I think when Blood Knights hit the field, people are pretty happy. Max Millionaire, you know what to do. Bring them in. Get them in here. Yeah, Blood Knights are real hype. Oh yeah, Crypt Horrors too. Yeah, Crypt Horrors and Crypt Ghouls. They also got lumped together. Which is like saying Forsaken and Spawn are the same unit. They're not. Just arrived and missed quite a lot. Well, we had some very close games today. I think we were 5-3 at the end of the day. Maximilianer's vampire counts. Bringing in some new meta stuff. Going for the max ghosty build. Very high DPS. Very different from the typical counts. It's pretty spicy. I wonder where the meta endpoint is, though. That's what I really want to know. Because at first he went Mantide, and that would beat most Vampire Counts players. Or most Empire, right? Then, because the Mantide was doing well, he shifted to Winds of Death. And going for a bunch of high DPS to clear off the Empire Mantide, which is very smart. So now both sides have two builds. Will they find a middle ground? Are we going to see some game theory where you just have to roll a die 30% of the time? You take anti-magic 60% of the time. You take, you know, an anti-infantry build. How does it work? How does it go? Well, probably the guy that loses 2 war wagons for free is the one that's going to fall behind. But I kind of like where it's at, though. If we have multiple builds, I like it. If it gets too skewy, though, right? If the builds hard counter each other, like hard counter each other, then it might just be a coin flip matchup, which would be the worst case scenario. The best case is they soft counter each other, which it seems like they will, based on how close the matches are. Alright, Shark should be done soon, right? Gonna watch what you missed tomorrow. Did Great Swords do well? Not bad, not bad. I would say Great Swords are pretty solid at what they do, and not terrible when they're put in an awkward position, which is kind of what you want for a unit. 50% of the time, every time. Yep, that's right. Yes, Buna will counter cavalry in general. Buna counters all low HP expensive stuff with a high enough entity count. Honestly, if I just took the Buna, would have solved a lot of issues. Imagine getting out-mobilitied by the counts. Obviously, Maximilianer's build, definitely it has a counter, though, right? Like, you can hard counter it by just taking, like, if I just took a Melkoth's guy, he didn't have Nagash, right? He had Heal, the Zombie Summon, and Winds of Death. No Gaze of Nagash. So technically, if I just took a Shadow Wizard on a little mount and just spam Melkoth's, well, can he out-heal it? Melkoth's is flat damage. Healing is percentage based. Well, maybe he can't. Maybe he can't. Ah, so many possibilities. So many possibilities. I still have ideas, though. I only wish I could have played more matches, but such is life. Tomorrow, though, we're going to be hosting a tournament. Patch Day tournament. Very exciting. Charix wins. Going to be going up against Maximillionaire. Very exciting. For the final game of today, it's going to be Vampire Count's main extraordinaire. They do play some Wood Elves. They do play a little bit of Wood Elves. But generally speaking, I think if Maxi goes Wood Elves into Charix, it's going to be bad. Charix is simply, I would personally say, a more experienced Wood Elf player. Because for Charix, it's Wood Elves first. But if we see Vampire counts, Charix basically hard counters the entire board. So, a lot of mind games going on, right? Strategically, you could just counter builds. But countering the player is much more important. These are some very high-level players. What will they do? Triple Blood Knights also works because of how much they heal. What's it about Triple Blood Knights? You're laughing about how toxic Nagash is going to be in land battle? In what way? In what way? What's he gonna have? Because I'm telling you right now, there is always a gold price that will make a unit not worth taking. Look at the Thunder Barge, man. Everyone was so worried about the Thunder Barge. And it was very, very oppressive for a long time. But then it got nerfed in the price. And you still sometimes see it. But not all the time. It actually ended up in a really nice spot. So, if the Thunder Barge can be balanced, I think Nagash can be balanced. Like a 4k gold that heal caps every game, can destroy range units with summons and magic, and beats most other SCs in combat. Like, what, are we talking about Be'lakor here? Because that's not far off from Be'lakor. He used to be able to kill lots of range with Pit of Shades. Sure, he doesn't have summons. But, like, if you're saying, like, CA just makes, like, a way stronger Be'lakor, right? Like, you can make a guy super strong, but if they cost most of your army, a lot of shooty builds will just kill him. And then, like, they'll just make him more expensive if he actually does have everything and the kitchen sink. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, literally anything can be balanced with price. Yeah, make him 6k. Problem solved. Let's say he's a one-man army. Make him 9,000. Done. Done. Let's say he's just a big boy that just summons everywhere and he's just chilling. Honestly, would kind of be a cool idea for a faction. A faction that is literally just one guy and his million summons. So he just kind of sits there as like a giant turret, right? Moves super slowly, just like, there's summon over there, summon over there. And then you're just trying to take him out. But I think that would be too one note as a faction. Because it's just always going to be Big Boy Nagash. He needs a map-wide Mortis engine. Honestly, against some builds, like Wagon Kite, it would actually be not that strong. But, it really depends. The most important thing is counterplay at the end of the day, right? We want to see units with counterplay. Now, the type of counterplay I've noticed is a trend. A lot of people don't like the spicy counterplay. So like Dread Maws, I would say actually have a lot of counterplay. But to do it, you actually have to be pretty good at micro. You have to have crazy APM. Am I just saying that everyone who hates Dread Maws just has a skill issue? Not quite. I wouldn't say that out loud. But no, Dread Maws absolutely have counterplay. Absolutely. Some factions will be better at doing it than others, but yeah, I think it's actually quite interesting. It's just very hard to pull off. It's kind of like in StarCraft. You know, like how a bunch of Bronze League people hate stuff like Banelings and Psystorm, right? It's very similar to that. You know, they're like, dang it. They just click one button and my army dies to Psystorm. And I have to click like 3 buttons to beat it. Or like disruptors, right? Then it just comes down to who do you want to balance around? Do you want a game with a lower, that's more appealing to like lower skill ceiling, or do you want to be really high skill ceiling and more options that get unlocked by skill expression? What do you do? It depends on the developers. In all fairness, you can't really counterplay with artillery. Like you say, if you have artillery, you can't stop a Dreadmaw. I would beg to differ. Maybe if you bring the unit that the Dreadmaw counters, right, you're gonna have a little bit of a harder time. But that's like me saying, like, these darn Karen raids, I can't beat them without magic. What am I supposed to do? Oh no! I think Karen raids should be weaker to non-magic builds. Because clearly they're too good against them. It's madness. That's what the Dreadmaw's supposed to do. Let it do its thing. Hell, you're facing Norska. You probably shouldn't be taking that much artillery anyways. Or Warriors of Chaos. I guess they can both bring Dreadmaws, but you understand what I'm saying here. To be fair, Psystorm is kind of annoying. It is true though, right? This comes down to preference. It comes all down to preference. I would agree that, to play against it is going to be less. It's not gonna feel good being Psystormed. Also, are we seeing Wood Elves versus Tzeentch? What a mad lad. I want to see Charx's anti-Wood Elf build with Tzeentch. I'm gonna copy it. Yeah, this is the grand finals. We're just waiting for them to get the armies right. But yeah, it really depends, right? I think there's different ways to swing it, right? On the far end, you get a game that is only made for the most elite of elite players, and you have 2 people play, and everyone else is kind of suffering with all the crazy mechanics that they just really are not interested in, and the game dies. Alternatively, you swing the entire other way, and you get a game that is perfectly balanced, mirrored on both sides, factions are the same, just like as boiled down as possible. And then you get you get like chess but worse. And although chess you even have who goes first, white is slightly advantaged, people will find a way to complain, Yeah. Although, a lot of people hate on chess. I think chess has a lot of fun to be had. But it's a more boiled version, Sometimes you want something basic, sometimes you want something complicated. It's almost like there's many games out there to play. How do they balance Warhammer, though? That's the rough part. AAA games have the issue of basically having to appeal to way too many people. This is why I like indie games, because I can just play whatever I like. No one's complaining about Factorio not having an MMO open world aspect. Actually, the multiplayer is pretty good. You can host some pretty big things. Oh, Norska versus Lizardman, hype. But yeah, I don't know. Let's say Slay the Spire, right? No one's been like, I can't believe Slay the Spire doesn't have a crafting system in it. Because no, they just don't play it if they don't like it. With Warhammer, though, I can't have as much sway because you got the single player people who are obviously the most important. And then the multiplayer scene, I don't even know what CA wants, They haven't given me their internal. For some reason, they didn't tell random streamer number 10 that, how they intend to balance the game. Shake my fist at them. I do wonder, though. I've tried to read the tea leaves. As far as I can tell, the way they balance multiplayer is kind of just off of how loud people complain about things. I think if enough people complain and then the people hosting tournaments comes to them, then they'll kind of shift it without thinking about it much. Now, I could be wrong, all right? This is reading tea leaves, like I said. But yeah, I think that's how they do it. It's just kind of like vibe based, right? You know, and tournament organizers, they will generally complain about whatever is just seeing way too much play, which makes me feel like at the end of the day, it's going to come down to a viewer based. It's going to come down to a viewer based kind of balancing system that also lags behind. They tend to nerf things after they fall out of meta because they were complained about like 6 months ago. So there's obviously going to be a bit of RNG there, but that's kind of how I see it. We should be louder. Please no. Nagash can fly. Hey, you have to take one ground unit. It's going to be Nagash and one Skaven slave skeleton. Oh my gosh, Daikon. Too kind. Too kind. There's a ton of games. Need to take into account what high-end players say when it comes to balance. There's a lot that they ignore. You know, fun fact, the reason my stance on this is the way it is because Blizzard, they used to have kind of this community balance system where the top tier players would have sway in the realm of balance. And you know what we got? We got a boring game. We got a boring game. Because the top tier players, they're not incentivized to make a fun game. They're not incentivized to make a game that has, you know, the best anything, right? They're incentivized to keep things as static as possible for the things that they have practiced. And then they'll push tooth and nail for it because they're the players. Yeah, in StarCraft. This is, at least this is what I heard. But they eventually disbanded that system. And now they're doing it differently. So that doesn't give me hope for a player-based balancing system. I think you actually need a game developer. Someone whose job it is to make a fun game. And that means sometimes you will upset some people. Pay Ent $5 for every player he gets into multiplayer and he'll balance it for you. Oh boy. I would say, I would probably be able, hear me out. When I say that I could balance the game better than CA, it's not because I am a better developer. It's because I am literally I will put in more hours than they are currently putting into balancing multiplayer. All right, let's be real here. CA have less than one person working on multiplayer at this point. These patch notes are mid, all right? And they take like 5-6 months to release. All right, you don't gotta do much. Literally anything, and one full-time random dude off the street could probably do more than what CA is doing right now. The guy has to boot up some YouTube videos, see what people are complaining about, and they already have half the patch notes. So there is that. But that does not mean I would do it well. What will be done well today, though, is going to be this match. Look at this, we're finally in. It's a Kite Lizardmen build. Juicy indeed. I think you got it right, Adler. It's going to be up against Charks' Norska. So Charks has been hard grinding Norska in Chaos recently. What a flip of situations. Interesting. We got a Throg Daddy. Got the Crown of Unbreakable. We got the Dreadmaw of Screw Yo Skinks. But the Lizardmen, they brought in the big boys. Triceratops. Rebranded to Stegodons because this is a fantasy universe. But let's be real. They're just chunky Triceratops. We got, what do they got? What are these guys? Are these these are just ancient Stegodons. So these are the ones that have not that much range. They're not the bolt thrower variant. but they kind of have a machine gun nest built into the top of them. Very, very fun. You can see it right here. Yeah, these are machine guns. Somehow, I don't know how the skinks managed to do it. Their lung capacity is insane. On top of that, many javelin throwers on the second rank. And a lord with no life magic, no healing. Holy crap, we already missed the droppings, the bombardments on the Norskins. But he's got the net, he's got the Shems, 2 casts of banishment, all very strong. But look at these guys. Fire Leech Bolas, suited to killing infantry specifically, and they got some bomb drops on the javelins. Overall, very high damage. Charx brings in the horsemen, but I don't know if this is the perfect counter. I don't know if this is the perfect counter. Holy moly. Bomb drops away, maybe? Not doing so bad so far. Are these horse masters? No, just throwing axes. Wow. Still doing surprisingly well. Damage-wise and all that. Especially against such a savage flying force. Throg is miles away, by the way. He should probably be helping out his infantry. And Jarx right now, off to a slightly weak start, right? Like I said earlier, he is learning the Norskins and the Chaos. So it's normal to see a couple misplays here and there. We see the Bearman getting caught out a little bit. But he counterpunches. Charg's very good at recovering these situations. And interestingly enough, no second skirmisher. So Charx is basically saying, screw you. Screw your flying units. I'm not even going to try to fight them. I'm going to play for a second win condition. One that you may be worse at. Look at this. Double cap, very well secured. Third point, he's going for it. He wants to win by tickets. Or at the very least do so much damage to the ground army that the flyers do not matter as much. Because obviously given infinite time, these guys will do well. Gonna see the Plague of Rust on the Stegodon too. Maybe a misplay over here. Dreadmaw also routing off some skinks. Very nice. This build doesn't have a hard counter to Dreadmaw, by the way. No salamanders, no nothing to maybe punch it back. Because, well, basically they're trying to win off the Stegodons and these flyers. It's basically just trying to avoid the problem, but summoning in skinks for capture weight will naturally put a little bit of a bigger timer on his head. I think it would have been interesting, actually, to see Saurus here instead of all the skinks, but what can you do? Dreadmaw's coming on in. Unburrows. Not in a great position, though. Doesn't get a lot of damage. And basically, Lizardmen have a set amount of time before this Dreadmaw gets value. If they can take advantage of that, they're good, but right now it's not looking too pretty. Many of the Pterodons are actually getting bullied by the Horsemen. Fire Leech Bowl is not working out super well for them. Skin Wolves have decided to take the fight early, too, by forcing such an aggressive early fight. It's gonna be a little bit sketchy because most of the Lizardman forces aren't really doing much. Stegodon's kind of getting taken to Pound Town, too. Look at Throg. Will he land a hit? Boom. Tiny little bit of damage. But here's the thing. When you only got 2 units that can actually stand their ground, and 4 units are getting pushed back by javelins, ooh, I don't know if that's gonna work. I think Charx got this, yeah. That big misplay on the Stegodon may have just screwed him. May have just screwed him. Lord is gonna die now. Oh my goodness, what is this? Searing Doom Overcast? Brutality on the Cold Wind Spear Riders. Yeah, and this is looking real bad. This is looking real bad. Decent start, but then I think Charx just kind of walked forwards and was like, wait a second. This build just wins. Dang it. I was hoping the double Ancient Stegodon would hold a little bit longer. They really did not. These guys need to get like 2,000 gold to pay back for themselves. So far, this guy's gone so little that it would take 10 Stegodons to feel like they did an amazing job. Just a unit of 10 of them stuck together. That's not good. Rev Crystal 2 is not going to do a lot of damage. Honestly, I think if he had... I don't know. If he had more of an infantry core, maybe if he went for the Salamander plays. Charx is also a Lizardman main, so he knows what they're weak to. Brutal. Absolute massacre. Well, Lizardmen are going to be trying to stick with it. We're going to see 1 cab charge into the cookie jar. A little bit of damage to the Bearman. Nothing too crazy, though. Cavalry are much better here, overall. But did these guys pay for themselves? Fire Leech Bolas? Eh. Yeah, I think the bullying from the horsemen and the javelins, it just got a little bit too much damage. I was actually kind of surprised myself. I thought they would be better versus cavalry. But surprisingly enough, not too much. So if these guys didn't pay for themselves, then the rest of the army, which is designed to kind of just hold the line, is just going to be much weaker. Because then you're just facing a large army at that point. Yeah, Lizardman is, I would say, slightly underpowered now. But Charx will make me eat my words when he wrecks my face with Lizardman in the grand finals. Trust. Trust. Never underestimate the ability for the capabilities of a player. And their ability to win with a bad faction through skill alone. Because one man grinding a matchup for a very long time will absolutely be able to make up for a faction imbalance. Keep an eye on him. I guarantee you Charx will try out Lizardmen in the grand finals. Nasty cav charge too. Well, you know, you are seeing Lizardmen come back a little bit. Stegodon's doing okay. Rev Crystal, I think is it in there? Or did it get routed? I kind of missed it. I don't see no Rev Crystal. Ah, it's over here. He needs to be here to be to give vigor to all of these guys, so. Yeah, we'll see. I will say though, if these guys don't rout and the Rev Crystal gets some vigor boosting in, this might actually go the way of the Lizardmen. I want you guys to quickly count how many Norscan units are actually on the battlefield putting up the good fight. I count like 3, 4 plus Throg are actually doing okay. And Throg is in kind of an awkward position. Now, I would personally say Lizardmen are still going to have an uphill battle, especially against Triple Cap. But they're actually kind of fighting it back. Don't get me wrong. They're still pretty far behind. But if Throg just suddenly dies to something right now, maybe there's a chance. That's a big bombardment, though. Let's take a look at the Dread mods, giving a lot of terror. I think the value tracker's off on it, too. Someone mentioned that, but I have not confirmed. Throg, though, is just not dying, is he? Oh my gosh. Does he still have a Wintertooth crown to stay in the fight? Lizardmen are definitely on the clock now. They have about, I would say, a minute and a half to take this point before the point of no return. That's not a lot of time at all. Are we going to see a Wintertooth crown, or are we going to see a tear out from Throg? If he tear outs, it's good. Oh, the constant Norscan tide of dogs is really hurting. And these Searing Dooms are painful. Look at that. Massive, massive Searing Doom on the Colon Rider. It's too slow to get out of the way. This Shaman Sorcerer has 1,000 gold value already. And that's going to be game. GG. Well played. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the ability damage is not tracked well on Dreadmaw. Pretty sure it's super off. But, yeah. Double Ancient Stegodon. Not great. I think this was the weakest part of the build. This is almost 3,500 gold value. Also, Trizik, if you're around, if you could just DM me that you've given Charix the victory. Charix, congrats on the victory. Hope to see you in the new patch tomorrow. Yeah, I think this is the weakest part of the build. The Ancient Stegodons were cute, but one they only get 1,300 gold. That's bad. This was decent. I kind of like the Fire Leech bolas, but they just didn't farm enough. And then taking Skinks versus Dreadmaws, like, I think you just kind of have to start expecting that Norsca will win the Dreadmaws, and you should take, like, Saurus instead. Just something a little hardier. Or even just going full mobility if you're going to take the Skirmishers anyways. But, you know, I think it's fine to go a little experimental here. I don't think this is like a super crazy build. I think this is kind of just testing the water, see if you can figure out how to beat the nasty Norscans. What should Lizardmen do against Norsca? I would personally say, I think if you go a Shredder of Lustria, it's already going to be way better than the Stegodons. Like Shredder's insane. Plus, the Dreadmaw is going to be useless against it. So you go like the classic Shredder Mazda, go a bunch of Pterodon Riders. And then what here can kill a Shredder? The guy has 2 Marauder Horsemen, right? Because he kind of needs the Skin Wolves to deal with everything else. Skin Wolves don't kill a Shredder of Lustria. Ice Wolves don't kill a Shredder of Lustria. Dreadmaw, you're just down 1,000 gold. It's just the Javelins. But Masamundi has 5 casts, I believe. At least 4. And each ability cast will kill a Javelin. So Ruination of Cities, Banishment, and Banishment. So yeah, you might get Plague of Rusted, but if you play it out well and rock drop most of the ranged, you kind of put Norska in a really tricky situation. They kind of have to counterplay the Shredder of Lustria, and when they do, then you take normal builds that they'll be less prepared against. But in today's meta, you kind of have to go for that. Anyways, GG's. Did you get Zarix? Return. I meant to win, please. Thanks. Alright. But yeah, GG. Fun games today. Some really tough opponents, I must say. Overcast Plague of Rust would do a lot. Well, yeah, if you let yourself get shot by the Javelins. At the end of the day, you just have to not get shot. It's going to come down to how well you rock drop and how well you cast your spells. But yeah. I think that's it for me today. I'm going to go peace out. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing some new patch tournament action. Not too many changes, but I'm keeping an eye out for that Sea Lord Acelin buff. I want you guys to feast your eyes on this real quick. So tomorrow, according to CA, they're looking at this guy and they're like, this ability, we're going to give it 2 uses now. I think that's insane. No one's been able to make great use of it though ever since the range nerf. But I think Acelin and like 2 Sisters of Avalorn could cook super hard. You basically have an ultra defensive build that just gets value farming once you use it, and then you use it again for the mega damage. Better than pre-nerf? Oof, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like, you might still get countered by artillery or something, I don't know. Maybe you can use it with Shadow Warrior Kite, though. Like, I think Acelin and like a bunch of Shadow Warriors, you just plonk it down and just snipe all of the archers. You don't have to get close. You don't have to risk your life. And you're probably not going to miss. The potential is high. I think I would like to try it. If it's good, we'll crush some faiths. If it's bad, we'll learn something new. Very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Changeling Acelin buff. Holy crap.